Good morning, Chop. Say it with me. You know what happened, everybody. Yeah, guess what? It got worse. Every time, Chop. Every time. There's no escape, Chop. There's no escape. It's always just gonna fucking get worse. Can somebody tell me shop load slots? I stream over to listen. I do so I multi-stream to my news channel. So if you want to type !YouTube, go check out my news channel. All of my news spots are up over there because I multi-stream there. But yeah, I got you. Everything that I ever cover is all the way over there. And I'm fucking getting eaten off screen. What's up, everybody? How are you? I hope you're doing amazing. Happy Sunday. And welcome to Summit 398, chat. 14 hours left on the timer. Pretty crazy. Thank you guys so much for all the double time. Hello? Hello? What the... I'm in the fucking mirror dimension. What the fuck is this, dude? No, this is the mirror dimension. The Phantom Zone is the other one where it cuts my head off. What the fuck is this? I'm like in the fucking Twilight Zone. You ever see like the...
Come.
Bro, y'all are weird as fuck. Y'all have the weirdest fucking kinks. Why would you come to the Twilight Zone? Literally, I'm like, no, it is not in effect today. Only yesterday, Wapper. Dude, what the fuck? What the fuck, dude? What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, thank God. I'm just a little woozy dumb. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this, dude? Yeah, I thought I would celebrate the end of the month. So, yeah, you're kidding. Yeah, we just want to celebrate the end of the month. I mean, it's sending us on a good time. Dude, you know the Twilight Zone where, like, the little, like, window, like, moves in 3D and then it breaks? I feel like I'm just stuck halfway in between that. That's crazy. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Happy Sunday. And welcome to the Vtuber review, where we're going to be covering some pretty crazy stuff. However, chap, I got to tell you, I was actually, doing my thing earlier, doing my research as I always do, and I was watching Tectone's, comeback stream, right? And we got about 45 minutes into it, right? Just listening what Tectone has to say, of course, doing my research when he, obviously, our new stuff, right? Oh, yeah, and by the way, did I mention that he casually just drops the F slur 45 minutes into his comeback live stream? Yeah, I'll show you a clip of that. I mean, maybe I don't watch enough Tectone. Maybe this is a normal thing for him, but I'm just like, you realize that saying stuff like that will get you banned off the website, right? Like what happened with Bird Peanut, dude. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, yeah, no, maybe he does it all the time. Maybe I'm disillusioned, but because I don't watch him. But yeah, I'm just like, wow, dude. Actually, yeah, I guess so, Kage. I was not aware of that. Like, and then also on top of that, why is that allowed? You know what I mean? Like, why is it allowed to be done? No, I'm seriously like, I hope people report that. That's really fucked up. That's crazy, dude. Like, dude, people get banned for saying that shit. I'm alarmed. Radioactive with the steals from Vault-Tec. Plus, do you have any nuclear waste? Yeah, absolutely. There's this thing called chat. Yeah, actually, if you check into their armpits, I'm sure you'll find a lot. What's up? Oh, this is Tectone Timberlake, him dropping slurs. Dude, actually, I did not know that. That's actually really crazy. That's really horrible, by the way. Even more of a reason that I'm like, nah, bro. Well, I'll save it for Friday, but I'm like, dude, that's actually horrible. Yeah, I gotta watch this whole, comeback stream. Of course, I was just trying to watch some of it this morning, but yeah, absolutely horrible. I think because it's pretty much only a slur. The U.S. kind of like the C word. Yeah, I thought this was like a universal slur. I'm gonna be real wrong. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the F slur is universal. Yeah, I mean, I get what you mean about the C word. I don't know, dude. I just feel like there's certain stuff you should not be saying, and that is one of them. You know what I mean? So, yo, what's up, Pharaoh? How are you? Yeah, guys, we got a pretty big menu lined up for today. You guys are gonna be eating good. Let me get some phlegm up, and then we'll talk about what's coming up on our agenda today, chat. I know I didn't want to watch Tectone, but you know it's my job. I watch a lot of stuff that I don't really want to watch, but at the same time, like, you know, I gotta know what's going on, right? Yeah, it literally, like, but here's the thing, like, Tectone should get banned for something equal, right? So, hold on, flip moment. All right, sorry, chat. Just had to get the phlegm up. Anyway, we're going to be discussing some pretty crazy stories today, chat. Obviously, we were discussing the other day about what was going on with Rev and Advancedgg. Well, now we have the fallout of that, chat. If you don't know, Advancedgg did drop Rev says Desu. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about, of course, the fallout, the reactions, kind of some grievances going on with another creator surrounding it. That we need to also address. We're also going to be talking about a crazy instance going on with Powder, chat. That is right. Powder using a, you know, one of those like customizable models that people sell. She has made some pretty controversial statements. We'll leave it at that for now. Which has caused the actual creator of this customizable model to speak out. So we're going to take a look at we'll talk about some of this stuff if that's allowable. That's not allowable. Obviously, I want to hear what you guys have to say. We'll still take a look. Yeah, you know, honestly, same here. Like, I haven't heard her name in a while. I mean, probably because I muted her, but yeah, the whole Rev thing is probably the biggest case. So fuck around and find out. You know, I have some thoughts that I want to share with all of you about this whole like Advancedgg thing, because I'm like, you know, I'm thinking about this whole thing, right? I'm looking at it, and it just like it's no. It feels like everybody lost. You know what I mean? Like, we'll talk about why I feel that way, right? I mean, obviously, standing up for what you believe in, and you want to step away from Advancedgg, that's your prerogative, right? And you believe in that, but I feel like also there's more to the discussion. So yeah, it's everybody loses basically. So we'll talk about it. No, I'm pumped. Fuck. We'll take a look at it here in a bit, chat, and talk about it. I dropped my wig.
DN
oh God.
Pie. You are pure PPC and Caudal Poos.
Thanks, Elara. That was really great. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Kasahana. Kasahana actually did a deep dive. Remember last time he found that Discord server of people that were going after Shy Lily? Well, he did another deep dive and found a Discord of the people going after Iron Mouse. So we're going to take a look at that as well. We're also going to talk about a crazy situation going on with HoloLive where somebody is impersonating a talent using AI, chat. Absolutely deplorable. Absolutely deplorable. So we're going to take a look at that. Of course, also, guys, I don't know if it's a big surprise, but Cha-Cha Chilla is back. Yay, more Cha-Cha Chilla. I don't know why she keeps trying to come back, dude. Like, just fucking walk away, you know what I mean? Just walk away. I don't get it, chat. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, Cha-Cha Chilla's back. We'll look at that, of course. The stuff with Powder. Obviously, the big story today is Advancedgg. And then, of course, all the stuff going on with the HoloLive impersonator, which is pretty wild, by the way. Normally, we don't see stories like that, but I think with AI being more prevalent, with people being able to use, like, voice changers, like, actual, like, imitating voice changers, or, of course, other stuff on top of that, where they're able to, you know, deep fake as well. It's really scary out there, so we're going to have to discuss this. I think we're going to be seeing more stories like this in the future, but, you know, again, I'll give it to you. I want to hear what you guys have to say. But first up, how are you guys? What's up? Dude, I know. I was hoping this year was going to be better, but, like, we're already off to a hot start. I will say this, though. it was pretty chill for a while. It was like everything was kind of chill, and all of a sudden we have all this like tactone stuff. We have this stuff as well. I don't know, cool, awesome. I'm wondering myself. I'm really wondering myself. Started with 2016 to begin in the waves. Exactly, but I mean, to be fair, like we did have a very chill start to the year, which was good, but yeah, now it's just blowing up even worse. So, I do really want to talk about this powder situation as well, because I do think there is a lot to kind of break down with it. It's very
really gonna
weird,
need
interesting
a
case.
drink for all of this.
By the way, I'm really worried about Fillion. She's gone on for a while. I think that Fillion is probably, revamping, gonna get her own model, all that kind of stuff. So I think she just needed a break, right? She blew up really quick. She's been working like crazy, going super hard. But yeah, I think honestly, she's just she's basically just stepping away from stuff, right? So Fillion's just been gone for a while. That's kind of it. So a lot of people are really worried about her. Hold on for a moment. Alright guys, I'm so flimmy today, but I'd rather get it out, you know? Fillion says I bought her a plane ticket from the Philippines, yep. I'm assuming you're talking about that joke, right? No, Cha-Cha Chilla, not Cha-Cha, your mom. I'm sorry, hold on a second, chat. I'm like hyper flimmy today. Yeah, which is weird because like I always warm up my voice now, and I'm like, why am I flimmy when we start, dude? Like everything was fine. Oh my god, sorry guys. Probably all the screaming you did last night. True. I did go pretty hard last night. Why is the wheel here? Wheel, go away. Come again another day. But yeah, I'm very, very sad to see that Chunky was not able to hang out yesterday. You know, of course, her internet going out. That really, really sucks. So hopefully we'll reschedule another time, chat. Chunky, Rusu, Mel, and I can hang out. Because I really love them so much. I mean, I had fun with Rusu and Mel. But it wasn't the same without Chunky, you know, so... Oh my god, yeah, put away the fucking wheel, dude. Get the fuck out of here. We did scream a lot, we did. I think I might have to... I think I might coming up, chat. I might have to take a day off to rest my voice, but we'll see. I could have also been OBS being screwy. No, she said it was her internet. Yeah, she said it was her internet. Oh, I know. Yeah, she was fighting something as well. I was gaming while having to stream on yesterday. I had to do a double take. With that one artwork. Which one, Dan? Are you talking about? Are you talking about the one that won yesterday? Yeah, that one was beautiful. Guys, this is the winner of the art contest. Yeah, look how good this looks, dude. It's so gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. But yeah, this is the winner of the art contest, chat. Yeah, it's gorgeous. They absolutely cooked. So, yeah, congratulations to them. If you missed it yesterday, the VOD is up. By the way, chat, I do want to let you know, coming up, our schedule for the week. So tomorrow, we're doing memes all day long, baby. Let's go. After that, of course, we'll be doing Halo 1 with Tuppy. She finally played yesterday, which was awesome. News, of course, Wednesday and Friday. Thursday, we're going to be doing marbles and giveaways, maybe add some extra time if the subathon isn't over by then. Saturday, we played Night Raid with Shibi and Alien Mixture. And then, of course, news on Sundays. So a very exciting week. Of course, the end of the subathon. Let's clap for the end of the subathon, guys. So happy to see it. It's finally over, chat. It's finally over. You love it, guys. You love it. So you confirmed that Tuppy is going to be Princess Carry Tuesday. You know, I was watching Tuppy play. She wasn't that bad. Yeah, so we'll play a legendary, you know. It'd be good. We'll be fine. Is it really overdue? I mean, there's only 13 hours left, guys. I'm not really sure how you're gonna add a bunch of time this time. I'm not doing hydrate bonuses. There's no more hydrate bonuses. Let's see, between today and tomorrow, yeah, Tuesday we're gonna be looking to cook the timer, chat. Gonna be looking that way. Wait, what did I miss? You didn't miss much yet. We actually haven't dived into any stories, so you're good. What's up, Spongy Man? I'm doing good. My voice is like finally warming up. I was having a lot of phlegm, but I'm doing a lot better now. How are you? It's over as much as my income taxes. Oh my god, don't get me started on taxes, dude. You haven't interacted with any viewer talents previously, have you? Nope. This is my first time hanging out with viewer talent, Shibi. Which I'm excited for. She seems so sweet. And she wanted to play Night Rain for like a really long time, so I'm like, bet, let's do it. You know I love my Night Rain. You broke your arm on Saturday? Dude, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Like, holy shit, how did you even do that? Yeah, what the fuck did you do? That's horrible, man. I hope you're okay. Like, actually, that's really, really bad. Take care of yourself, right? Yeah, please take care of yourself. Really, really bad. Yeah, you know, I started watching Chibi stuff. I really like them too. Even though technically you live off tips, so streaming isn't that tax exempt in the US? No. I mean, there are certain things that you can like file and get exempted from, but a lot of it is not tax exempt. In fact, you kind of get double taxed because you get like, so I'm already getting taxed for the revenue that comes through Twitch, which is like you guys are getting taxed. I only get a cut of it, and then I get hit again. So it kind of sucks, but you know, it'd be what it be, right? So. Oh my god, this tea is so good this morning. I'm really sorry, guys, if I'm flimmy. I try to warm up and not be, but sometimes I just can't help it. So I just found out that there's you have 3 cavities. Holy shit, dude! Did it not hurt? Like, I thought if you have cavities, it hurts a lot. Man, I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better. Dude, I have tea as well, and it's still. Hold on, let me get some more out. Yeah, it's better I just like cough it up. I bring a certain ovation vibe that the Fetties don't quite like. Didn't pay your taxes. What do you mean? Your bosses get taxed for paying you. Then you get taxed for getting paid and stuff. Exactly. Like, and you're already getting a cut taken for the Twitch stuff, right? Like that's already like a thing. So, it super sucks. But you know, be what it be. I accepted it a long time ago as a content creator, and honestly, I'm just very thankful for all of you for supporting me. So thank you guys so much. Every single day for all your support. Did they get bigger again? Compared to when? Yeah, compared to when, dude, because I feel like every time God's like, oh, they got bigger. I'm like, they didn't get bigger, dude. I got them early, so they're not bothering me. I think she said she needs a level 30 hype train. No, that's not what I'm saying, Walk. I'm saying that we're gonna let the subathon end, dude. Spoiler as much as you can because her bra certainly does have the support these babies need. And that's why I just don't wear one, Yummy. Dude, I literally put a bra when I go outside now. I never wear a bra anymore. It's so much better. What's up, Yummy? How are you? Can we get a shot for Yummy? Thank you for giving somebody, Yummy. I appreciate you so much. Anonymous gifter, thank you. U.S. government, after all my calculated government, you get 6.7 of your revenue. Yeah, that's him. Everything you own is theirs, dude. Yummy, did you see that you can play as the office characters in Fortnite? Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I know you say you want to chill, Yummy. I don't really know if this is going to be a really chill stream, right, guys? So, oh my god, I don't think it's going to be much to chill on this time around. I know some pretty heavy stories, chat. I'm not going to lie to you. Obviously, we will go through, of course, debuts, graduations, all that kind of stuff. We'll dive into a little bit of corpo news. There's some things I want to talk about. Not too much. And then we'll dive into our bigger stories. So, yeah. Well, one thing that I'm always happy of, everybody here is very respectful. So, you know, I like Red Claw's new model. Like I said, he actually got, you know, a normal-sized brain this time, not a dinosaur peanut brain. But, you know, maybe he can actually, like, I don't know, be a decent streamer for once. I'm like, wow, finally, Red Claw, let's go. Don't tell Red Claw that. Don't tell Red Claw I said that. He's like, you stupid fucking elf. Oh my god. Yeah, guys, please go and support all of the artists yesterday. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous artwork. I am like, I am literally blown away by how beautiful some of this art was. It was incredible. So please go check it out. Go check out yesterday's VOD. I will be linking all of the winners sometime soon. I just haven't had time to actually do the post. You can take a Red Claw's beard. I love that. Is he just like bald underneath? He's probably lurking, so probably heard that. Bro, Red Claw always be lurking, I swear. He actually be lurking all the time. Nah, but even like looking at Twitter, these two big stories are, of course, blowing up, chat, over all of the Twitter space. So we will take a look at it. I'll share a little bit of history about Powder, because I gotta tell you guys, I'm not really the biggest Powder fan in the world. I think that he's pretty morally not that great. But I'll show you why I think that. I'll share you some stuff. Obviously, we will look into the newest set of controversy. We will also take a look at what is going on with that. And then I did consult Kono, an actual lawyer, on what can be done in this situation. So I do have at least a very short answer to share with you about legally what could actually happen with that. Of course, also the big talk of the town. Let me ask you all, chat, considering last time we talked about Lala, Rav, all that, what do you think about Advancedgg dropping Rev, chat? Do you think it was the right call? Do you think it was the good call, bad call? What do you think of this whole thing going on with Rev says Desu and Advancedgg, chat? Do you think they did the right thing? Do you think they did the wrong thing? What do you think, chat? I guess Advancedgg felt like he was becoming a liability. They're not big enough company to take the losses. Yeah. You know, everybody lost, really, Osaka. Everybody lost in this situation. It was not justified, not over what happened. Agreement City sponsor cancellation campaigns hurt content creators across the board. I mean, it's a huge L. Or not really. Okay, so let me say this. It is a lose-lose for pretty much everybody involved, right? Because the people that stepped away no longer have a sponsor, right? Advancedgg loses all these people. Now they lost, Rev as well. Like, everybody lost in that one, right? And I do want to talk about a particular thing that I was thinking about, right? Like, what was the intention of the people stepping away from Advancedgg? Well, I did reach out to a few people. I will be telling you what they had to say anonymously. I think that, if Advancedgg, they're a business, right? Yeah, there's no winners, right? Advancedgg is a business. They can stand on whatever platform they want to. They can uphold whatever they want to, right? But I gotta say, I feel like Advancedgg, I don't think they know what they want to stand for is the problem, right? I mean, I think that looking at how Reb treated Lala, if they wanted to separate from him because he engaged in bad faith and was very inflammatory, I could see that, right? I could absolutely see that. But like, okay, you know what? He was really enticing, like this narrative that wasn't true, and I can see why Advancedgg might want to step away from that, right? But also in that same token, there are other creators doing that as well that they would need to separate with if that is the platform they want to stand on. Look, I'm not Advancedgg. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not their CEO. I'm not going to tell you what is right or wrong here, right? But what I will say is if you're going to stand on a certain platform, right, and you're going to say this, you got to uphold that, right? You got to be 100%. If you're going to do it, it's got to be swift. It's got to be decisive. And they got to make sure that they do back what they're saying, right? And I feel like, sadly, with Advancedgg, they really, they didn't treat it well, right? I'll show you a lot of stuff where they were going after people in their Discord. It was just, they're very wishy-washy, right? And again, you got to make sure that if you're going to stand on something, you got to back it up. And I feel like Advancedgg just does not know where they want to stand morally. That's what I think. Like, in all honesty, I think that they figured it out along the way, and that's fine, right? If that's what they want to stand on, they don't owe their partnership to anybody, and vice versa. But also, like, if you're gonna stand on this platform, you got to make sure that you stand on it, right? So, and if their platform is they wanted to call out Rev for his bad faith and inflammatory behavior, okay, I got you then, and then that's their prerogative, right? Again, I'm not the Advancedgg CEO, so I can't really tell you. But I want to see that enforced across the board as well. And unfortunately, chat, looking at the whole situation, I don't think that they're doing that, and I'm going to show you why. So, again, Rev getting separated, obviously the strategies worked. If they wanted to step away and they felt like their morals were corrupted because they were not taking action against Rev, more power to you, right? My discussion today is I want to show you everything, right? But I also want to discuss how Advancedgg is not being consistent, right? So for me, like, if you step away from Rev, okay, cool. I very much disagree with how Rev treated Lala, absolutely, and I will stand on that platform and preach him the fucking loudest speakerphone. Rev took a huge L in the way that he went after Lala. It was inflammatory, it was in bad faith, and that was the problem. Absolutely the problem. And I will always stand on that. But if that's the reason they wanted to separate from him, they got to make sure that they stand on it. But Lala started it. You, Batman, that is the dumbest take I think I've heard yet, dude. What the fuck do you mean? Lala made her statement, and Rev took it in a completely different direction. What do you mean? He literally engaged with her in bad faith, dude. What do you mean? Oh no. What's the whole situation between Rev and Lala? Lala made a statement. She said, fuck ice. And then Rev decided to engage with it and basically say, oh, well, because she's a 1950s VTuber, obviously she's not allowed to say that because her beliefs align with being a 1950s VTuber, right? Which is an insane take when Rev himself tries to separate and preaches the separation of reality versus fiction, right? But on top of that, he didn't even actually address what she said in like a political fashion. He straight up just took it in a completely different direction. And that was the problem, right? And that will always be the problem. And that's why he took a huge L in that whole entire thing. Straub got caught up in this whole situation. To be fair, Whapper, Straub did involve herself. You know what I mean? Like, she was very outspoken on social media. She did pull herself into it. To be fair, she was just as outspoken, right? So, yeah, exactly. And I think that was probably the case. They probably discussed that as well, Mass. Only you can see regarding Lala, she made a political comment that leads to certain kinds of reactions. Right, she seemed surprised and liked the comments after a while. That's not what happened to him. Yeah, that's actually not what happened at all. So, here's what actually happened to him, which I covered in my coverage, which you were here for, so I'm kind of sad you didn't pay attention, but I'll give it to you again. The actual timeline of what happened was, Lala made her tweet, Rev engaged with her in bad faith and took it in a different direction, and then she locked her comments. She only locked her comments because of the fact that Rev engaged with her in bad faith. His comments about the 1950s era stuff was why she locked her comments. It had nothing to do with the actual political stuff. She didn't lock her comments until Rev quote retweeted it. Yeah, I can understand that as well, Sirius. Same for me. Yo, what's up, Terry? How are you? I'm doing good. I'm on Summit Day 398. Help me out of here. Terry, please, take me with you. Take me with you, please. Take me with you, please. Nah, it's okay. There's only 13 hours left. We're out of here soon. Oh, you're done with yours. Congratulations. I didn't see the timer when it came by your stream, so I was like, Are you done? I didn't want to bother you or ask because you were locked in. So, MSC Edit, Terry, give me a shout out. Thank you for giving us something as well. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, I didn't want to bother you. No, but like you were locked in. So, I was just like, I'm just going to chill in the background. So, oh my God, Ari. Hopefully we can hang out soon. You know, when the summertime ends. Eventually. Yeah, well, again, so it really has more to do with the fact that it was bad faith and inflammatory. So, yes, mwah, I miss you too. Let's hang out. Okay, but the same logic since Rev is a lolly VTuber, does that mean he's a... And one could argue that, right? I mean, like, I'm not even going to go into that discussion data. I'm not even going to touch that. But, yeah, somebody made a point about that. Guys, keep her here for 300 more days. Dude, I don't think my voice is going to survive that in 300 days. Oh, no. We'll see, we'll see. Well, for Rev, right, he preaches a lot about the separation of reality versus fiction, which is fine, right? But by his own biggest fucking, like, thing that he's a proponent of, right? The biggest thing he's a proponent of, why is he arguing against his biggest thing that he platforms, right? None of it counts as harassment or did he see anybody attack her. Whole situation was stupid. Pharaoh, listen to me though. He said something inflammatory, Rev said something stupid about it, the quoted Bible each other DM. But here's the thing, Pharaoh. That's not true. That's not true. Listen to me. Here's what I want to tell you, right? You can sit there and argue. You can be like, yeah, Lala was inflammatory, whatever, right? Etc. etc. And that's your individual thought, right? But what I'm going to say is that when you speak in bad faith and you are inflammatory on top of that, there's nuance in that statement, right? If you're approaching somebody in bad faith to cause an issue, that is a huge problem. And the level of how we approach that is why it was such a big misstep and why he ultimately, I think he got dropped. I think Advancedgg said, you approach this in a really horribly selective, inflammatory manner. And because of that, we're going to drop you. And that is the problem, right? You can sit there and be like, oh, well, Lala said something politically inflammatory. Okay, yes. But that doesn't excuse Rev from his actions, right? One thing does not cancel the other. And that's what I'm pointing out. So, again, my thought is that's why they let him go. Obviously, other people stepping up did play a part into it as well. But you have to acknowledge that the way he went about it, his actions led to the consequences, right? Again, I do think that people are going to be like, oh, well, everybody, nothing happened. That's not true, though. If you think nothing happened, then you missed the whole point of the entirety of this coverage. Yeah, if you actually think nothing happened, you're missing the point. Yeah, so a lot of people are going to say, like, well, these people, did this action and stuff like that. They stepped away. I think them stepping away was going to happen, right? And it probably played a part in their decision. But ultimately, in my opinion, I think Rev got let go because he engaged in bad faith and was extremely inflammatory when there's absolutely no reason to be. Your actions have consequences, right? Which one's you, yeah, which one are you talking about? That's okay. We haven't even actually really dived into it. I'm just soft talking about it. Yeah, again, it's not really new, right? There is a pattern, so yeah, your actions have consequences, right? And if you think that absolutely nothing happened, well, you're really missing the point, dude. Consequences need to be appropriate to the action. Again, Pharaoh, the thing is everybody, like, I'll tell you right now, you say the consequences need to be appropriate to the action, right? I can't tell you what's right. Everybody's going to have a different opinion. You know what I mean? Like, your opinion's going to be different from somebody else in chat, vice versa. But at the end of the day, you know who gets that. You know who gets to hold the action to the consequences is the advanced CEO. Now, you can criticize that, right? And that's up to you as an individual, but again, actions have consequences, and this was the consequence, right? You don't have to agree with it, and that's fine. But my point is, I don't think it is a large leap to look at what Rev did. You can't ignore the fact that he engaged in bad faith and was extremely inflammatory because of that, right? That's what I'm pointing out. So before we actually get to our news today, can we at least agree that Rev engaged in bad faith and was inflammatory, right? Can we all agree on that? I think it's very fair to say. I think that nobody's really going to have a big problem with that. Yeah, I think it's completely something that we have out there, right? Well, the other thing too as well, Pharaoh, is he hasn't really acknowledged it either, right? And I was thinking in his video he would. He didn't really acknowledge it either. So, yeah, you know, maybe he didn't, but maybe he did, but he also didn't, right? So, anyway, we'll take a look at him. And that's the point, right? That's the point, Angel Vega, is it made him look like a big hypocrite when he preaches about the separation of reality versus fiction, but then uses that as a weapon, right? For him to take his shield and turn it into a sword is very, very odd, is all I'm saying, right? So, yeah, and also, again, I'm not saying Advancedgg is innocent, because they got another problem on their hands that they're probably going to want to address. So we're going to take a look at that. Leo know what to type, chat. Let's fucking do it. Let's hop on in. Yeah, I think we can sit here and talk about all that, but honestly, I just want to talk about the news to get into it. I will talk about it. So what I made earlier was I just included Rev's comment in the whole political reaction. Yeah, after post, I remember them. I'm not really sure what that means, but cool, bro. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that means. Yeah, I mean, like, again, I think that the things that they tried to stand for and their lack of like swift, decisive action, I think is why a lot of people stepped away, because they're like, look, this company is just not. They don't know what they want, right? And that's okay sometimes, but in a situation like this, like, stop leading us on, you know what I mean? Like, just make a decision and do your investigation. But I do think some people stepped away too early, right? I think there's also, give Advancedgg the chance to make it right in your eyes, right? If your opinion was they needed to get rid of Rev, well, if you left and then they got rid of Rev, what now? Are you just like, well, you just don't go back? Do you try to go back? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, you're left in a very awkward spot. So I feel like it would have been better to be like, hey, like, I'm going to leave unless you do this, right? Because now everybody lost. But anyway, we'll get into that, chat. It's just so much to discuss. You know what I mean? You know what, chat? Fuck it. Let's dive right in. I don't give a fuck anymore. Everybody type 1. Let's fucking do it. We're gonna talk about the Rev stuff. We're skipping straight to it. We're already on a roll. Let's just fucking go. Let's just fucking go. Yeah, no. We're already here. We're already yapping about it. Let's go. Why the fuck not? You know, normally I have a you know, a little warm up, but you know what? Nah, fuck it. We're hot. Let's do it. Fuck it. We do it live. Yeah, that's right. We're balling. So, the chat, what I want to start with is telling you about all the instances of other people leaving from, selective enforcement. I think that's good. So, guys, I want to discuss with you all the other people that decided to leave Advancedgg. So, these are the people that I did not get to cover. Again, I'm not really going to dive into their full things, but I just want to show you all the instances of people leaving Advancedgg. So, of course, like, we have Catherine, we have Saya, saying I decided to step down as ambassador. I don't want to be correlated with other bigger streamer content creators. Have no goodwill with intentions and feeding off negativity or negative ethical beliefs to shove it down people's throats. Of course, we have, Spino Spooks going on to add to this as well. Honestly, just update. I've also stepped away from Advancedgg Ambassador Program. I mean, I think a grand total, chat, all the ones that I've covered with you, is probably an easy 30 to 40 people. Again, Lilypad, my partnership with Advancedgg has been canceled. Their inaction of a recent event and who they endorse is speaking louder than words. I can't support a company who remains silent in the face of heinous activity. Let's continue, chat. Like I said, there's a lot. Advancedgg is basically like diet gamer subs. That's the best way I can put it. Of course, Aura of Opalshine, I decided to step away from their ambassadorship role with Advancedgg. Again, chat, I'm just gonna lay all of these out for you, so you get an idea of how many people stepped away, right? Wesley going on to terminate a partnership with Advancedgg. I think the thing to acknowledge here, chat, is when a lot of your partners are stepping away, this is very different from the Cure situation, right? So with the Cure situation, everybody went after Kirsch, right? We didn't see a lot of partners really actively step away. I mean, there were a few. There were like a handful, right? But it's not to this level. Obviously, this kind of outspokenness was a very effective strategy, right? So many people stepping away. It did really hurt Advancedgg, right? Obviously, they're going to feel the pressure of that. I mean, again, it's sometimes you don't even get sales. Just having your name out there with people, having partnerships, etc., right, is very, very powerful. Sometimes just having the promotional material is very powerful, right? You're like, oh my God, look at all these creators that, support us, right? Or we have under our banner. So losing a lot of people like this, it really, really does hurt. Now, what I do want to acknowledge here, chat, is I do really wish a lot of people would have waited. And what I mean by that is, I actually spoke to some people that ended up stepping away from the company. And my thought was, I would have been like, hey, look, Advancedgg, I don't like how this person is operating and engaging in bad faith and inflammatory. I want to make it clear that I am thinking of stepping away from my partnership unless you look into the situation, right? And then based on what you do, I will decide whether I leave or not, right? I feel like that would have been better than just stepping away completely, because now we're in an awkward situation, right, chat? It's weird for Advancedgg as well, because they lost everybody, right? They lost the quote unquote problematic people, and they also lost the quote unquote good people from whatever perspective you have, right? And you can lump them into whatever basket, right? But again, they lost so many people, right? They lost everybody. It's a lose-lose. So I guess my question is, and this is what I asked people I reached out to. I said, what was to be gained here, right? Are you going to try to go back? It's just weird. Well, everybody I spoke to, chat, every single person that I spoke to that was thinking of leaving the company or left the company already, they said they would not go back to the company because there were more problems than just the rev stuff, right? They said there was more problems within the company. They felt like their platform was not very strong. They were very wishy-washy. They felt like they ignored a lot of their problems. So this was just another rung on the ladder to add to the reason. So again, I'm not going to tell you specifically who, but I did speak to other people, and every single one of them said, I would not go back for more reasons than just this, right? So this is kind of the nail in the coffin. Anyway, let's continue looking at, all the other people that decided to leave within the company as well. Fuck, I lost my notes. Okay, there we are. I was like, where's my stuff, dude? I like a marker and I lost it. Of course, Tiramisu Bunny also steps away from Advancedgg. I mean, chat, what do you think about them stepping away? Do you think they should have waited? Do you think they shouldn't have? What do you think, chat? I mean, knowing the context that there was allegedly some more problems, I get why you might want to step away now a little bit more, right? This was straw that broke the camel's back. Again, Ku going on to say I'm no longer associated with them. Yeah, so I feel like that context is really helpful. Knowing that, right, chat? I think that's very helpful. Of course, Massage also goes on to say I'm no longer part of Advancedgg. There you go. Again, I got a whole giant list to show you. Era, terminating with Advancedgg. Tar, man, I've never tried dubbing. I tried Advancedgg. Both companies have disappointed me immensely. My tracking died. I'm stepping away from VTube Studio. Again, so Tart also leaving their sponsorship with them as well. Not somebody that they want to engage with anymore as well. There's a lot more, chat. I'm going to give them all to you. So I want you to understand the weight of how many people were leaving, right? Again, Areen steps Areen, I hope I pronounced that right. Areen stepping away from Advancedgg. Thanks also stepping away from Advancedgg. I've been Advancedgg partner for years. I can't express how disappointed I am. How it's being handled. Kind of sweep this under the rug until everybody forgets it's not a good look for you. Dozens of other creators who are partner with you. Get it back, Mo. We're going to look at this tweet here in just a bit because it's actually pretty important. So hold on just a sec, chat. Yeah, exactly, Cookie. Of course, Sophia also stepping away from Advancedgg. It makes me very sad that due to recent events and misalignment to moral values, I've decided to step away from this position. So, again, chat, I know certain companies uphold certain moral values, and I feel like again, if you want to be part of that company, right, that's fine, right? Every company has a different moral guidelines, etc., right? Inviting different diverse amount of people, etc. But I feel like also the company has to stand their ground on what their ethics are, right? Their moral values. And again, I feel like, sadly, you're going to see here, I don't feel like Advancedgg is actually doing that. You know what I mean? So here we go. Adding on to this, even more chat. Even more people are leaving. Again, I'm going to click through all of these. I'm not going to read them, but I just want you to see the level of how many people left. I mean, between coverage between today and the other day, it's got to be between around 30 people that I've seen just directly on Twitter have decided to leave, right? So, again, here is, Lena saying, after a lot of reflection, I've decided to step away from my ambassadorship and any further affiliation with Advancedgg. This wasn't a decision made lightly. On top of that, also, like, Villainous Gabby. Villainous Gabby says, I'm leaving Advancedgg. I'll work and leave the program, delete my links and codes. I got you, right? On top of that as well, Ghastly VTuber also going on to be the last on the list of leaving Advancedgg as well. So, like many have removed my code and have ultimately determined ambassador status of Advancedgg. I cannot work with a brand that idols by. Somebody worked in the agency business world. Most statements come by the day of or after an incident. So again, I feel like whatever you stand on Advancedgg, make sure you stand on it. Raven and his wife didn't deserve this shit for just some dumb drama and a difference in opinion. It wasn't just a difference in opinion anymore later. Yeah, it wasn't just a difference in opinion. He went after her to move the narrative in a different direction. It was inflammatory. So that's not entirely true, leader. I'm sorry, dude, but I'm gonna say I very much disagree with you. Yeah, he took the argument a completely different direction in bad faith. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. Just in the fact that at least 30 people left Advancedgg because of all this, just shows how bad the situation was. Exactly. So, yeah, people are crazy for acting like he is evil. I mean, look, I'm not gonna tell you what the right thing here to do was because I don't know. I'm not the Advancedgg CEO, right? But what I will say is, if Advancedgg wants to remove somebody because they are inflammatory and they are engaging in bad faith, then yes, they should have removed Rev. if that is the case, if that's the platform they stand on, but nobody fucking knows the platform they stand on, because even if that was the one, it's still inconsistent. So like, just everybody loses. Everybody loses in this situation. It's really, really crazy. And you might think it's overkill, and I think it's fine, right? Again, I think that if Rion, thank you so much. If that is the reason why, if MHG said, well, you're being engaging bad faith, you're being inflammatory to somebody who hasn't done anything, then yes, then I can get that, right? Right, and it is inconsistent because both things can exist at the same time, right? This could be the reason they drop Rev, but they also are being inconsistent. I think that that is, both can exist at the same time. You know what I mean, chat? Inflammatory, like causing issues that didn't need to be there, right? Rev absolutely did that. He absolutely caused an issue that didn't need to be there. So we're gonna take a look here, guys, because this is actually pretty crazy, right? Because this is how they were handling stuff in the in their Discord, right? So I want you guys to take a look at this because I think this paints another picture of what's going on. And also, we're gonna look at what the CEO said as well, Wild, because I think there is some stuff in there that weighs into his personal opinions as well. So yeah, and maybe that is as well, right? So whatever their platform is, the only thing I'm looking at is just be consistent, right? That's all I'm saying.
A trusted source has shown me how Advancedgg is handling this situation internally, and it's honestly disappointing. Rather than treating it with the seriousness it deserves, it's being brushed off, joked about, and not taken in good faith. The way this is being approached behind the scenes does not reflect care, accountability, or respect for those affected. That disconnect is deeply concerning. My source, who is a staff member, also filled me in on the fact that a few partnership managers will sit in a VC and talk shit about their partners, calling them annoying and other things. Please repost this to spread the word of what Advancedgg is doing.
They made their platform and they said Rev is unapologetically turned real. They knew it was inflammatory from time to time. The fact that he dropped Shroud as well shows it's only about bending the knee to the cancellation mob. Again, Grogos, I can't tell you that for sure because I don't know, right? All I can tell you is yes, you can be inflammatory from time to time, but I think the level that Rev went to with this situation was extreme. That's what I think. Again, I can't tell you whether it was right or wrong because I don't know what Advancedgg's platform is, right? I really don't. I can tell you that I disagree with how Rev handled it, and I think that was awful. I really do. The way that he approached that was a huge L in my opinion. That's the one thing that I can tell you I disagree on, but Advancedgg is so wishy-washy right now. It's really hard to be like, oh, they did the right thing because this is their moral compass, or they did the wrong thing because this is their moral compass. They don't stand on anything, right? And that's the problem. So it's hard for me to be like, oh, well, they bent the knee to cancel culture. Well, I can't even tell you that's true because I don't know what the fuck they stand on. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to affirm that as well. Be like, oh, well, they did this. Well, do you actually know why they separated from him? You know what I mean? Like, what was the actual reason they separated from? Because I feel like we're throwing it and hoping it sticks, right? I think there's some things in it, but I'm going to get to the full story. So Dave, let's go take a look here at some of these Discord posts. Because again, I think it shows how they were handling things behind the scenes, right? Take a look at what you have in a second. I knew this would come up at some point or another, but should be interesting. ASAP. What happened? Why is everybody heated? An advanced partner made some comments about somebody speaking against what's been happening with ICE. See this. It's a way to stop general chat for now. Can you put chat on slow mode? I don't have access to it. I will look into it. Nope, I can't. You have an equal amount of peeps trying to keep it civil and spread love, and an equal mix of being nasty and saying mean things. Noted, I'll continue to try and stay to do something. I don't know anything. I don't think there is at the moment. Sadly, there is not. They're mentioning someone called Rev. Who is that? It's a creator we work with. He's known to review social media drama and has some political content pieces. Not sure, to be honest. I just hope that everybody is safe and okay. What did he do to upset everybody this much? Honestly, I have no idea. And we want to know, we are going to have to go back and look or do some more research. Okay, that's only one, although I don't think commenting will help. Just stirs controversy. Yeah, it's just people stirring the pot. They can dictate the narrative even if I say what happened. Again, this is Alex, right, who I believe is the CEO. Let me double check that. No, I don't think so. I don't know who this Alex person is. Anyway, yeah, I know full announcement will come up, and it's what we know can't make everybody happy. People are just impatient and don't understand the legalities and procedures that go into background stuff. It is basically people not reading what the rules are and blaming it on a situation as to why they got banned. Yep, I don't like this situation on Twitter, but again, it's Twitter. Yeah, it's getting crazy. Sadly, people just want conflict. Like, where's the love in the world? Alex has head of operations. Okay, got you. Alex, take a look at what you have for a moment. Our Discord is pretty good now, but it sounds like rumors about the company are circulating online as a result about Apple's being removed. Never mind, BB to it. Agreed, here's an example. Yeah, that's only one, although I don't like commenting will help. Just there's controversy. Yeah, it's people stirring the pot. It just sounds like they were trying to make sure that there was not a bunch of craziness going on in the Discord right now. It doesn't need muting like a message relay. It's only till things calm down and not be based on opinion, political, or other. I think that is like hitting the trigger on banning people is going to cause a problem, right? That's always going to cause a problem. So probably going to slow mode is the answer, right? And I did read something about apparently with the partners or outlashing on others and putting them down for their views. And so others are backing them up on that. That's just not right. That's who we are and what a company is stands for, what we represent. The no slow-mo chat is on. I can't speak for another hour. What's up, Alex? Oh, I can't send messages. Yeah, slow-mo restricts even us from sending messages. Yeah, they enable slow chat for another hour. You can't. I don't even know if they can reduce all this tension or not. To be honest, it's looking really bad. We can infuse it best. We can with slow chatting. It's affecting us, which it shouldn't. And we can't be mods because we don't have mod privileges, which is kind of a problem, right? Yeah, I mean, like, just because they're having like a conversation doesn't mean you should pull the trigger, right? Obviously, if they're bad apples, bad actors, that's different. But yeah, we're gonna look at the emoji hate as well. No, I agree. We're all human, have feelings, but to outlash on others and watching others back this up isn't right. We are, but a general is meant to be civil, and we don't have mod powers to start meeting. Things get more out of hand. We need an admin here just in case. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna be the one to say it. I think we should mute the server for at least an hour or so. I'll let everybody calm down on something because it's getting way too heated. I'm blocked. I can't comment for another hour. People choose to berate their company openly in general chat before having all the facts. May not be the best fit here. That's all I have to say. People are very quick to jump to conclusions. Yeah, which is true, right? What time limit you want, Alex? And on the option button slow mode. Me either. All right, timer says 1 hour until I can chat again. It worked. It's still going crazy though. Everything is on fire. So you can see the Discord is just melting down, right? Everybody's upset. Yeah, the general chat is still blowing up really badly because the Advancedgg is near Indianapolis. I think things are getting political, which is a good insight as well. We work with humans. People have different emotions, backgrounds, etc. Alex and the team have done everything they're able to not fully silence our people, but to give them the hard and fast warning, which I think is probably the best, right? So it seems like they're working hard. You're the face of the company to creators, just as we're the faces of the company to consumers. When we act wrong, people look at us, who we are partnered with, and as we see, it can hurt a company's reputation. Which I think is a fair point. Understand that y'all did not intend or count on these messages getting leaked, but they did, and they do affect the perception of the company. As much as I respect this, the situation just got dropped. For now, that's also exactly why I'm here. I know it's rough, but we can't move forward right now. That's just not that's not on us. Time to take comfort with everything here, try to move forward in a direction to still have room. Please drop it. So, ooh, multicolored announcement. Love that. I mean, it's just with genuinely the utmost respect, but I don't feel like this is the correct approach to this situation. It's fair that people want to talk and share their opinions in the server that pertains to this situation, while others also have takes in this. I don't really understand what silencing those that want to speak about it is going to do other than look bad on y'all's part. I do think that like a slow mode is good, but yeah, silencing people on it is not gonna work. That's really not a good way to address it, right? Unless there's some specific bullying or personal information being shared, I don't see the harm in conversation. I agree. Unless it goes against the final outcome it's going to look like, in which case should be shared as transparently as possible. People are going to talk about it, whether it be here, where we can actually reach members of the company, and moderators for their Discord have conversation about it, or online like Twitter and Blue Sky. I mean, I'll be honest, I think trying to move away from conversation is not the way to go. Can we agree on that, chat? And I think that's the criticism here. Like, they're really not going about it in the best way to put their partners at ease as well. Of course, this person goes on to say, like, hey, I asked earlier if Peter was the co-owner of Advancedgg. I was told by moderator Poppy he's the manager. When he announced in a tweet, I learned that he is the owner. It just made me doubt the transparency when I was misled by the moderation team. I mean, like, stuff like that. I can see why that's problematic. So, again, just lack of transparency, lack of direction, lack of correct moderation, in my opinion. I mean, like, you can clearly see the missteps here, right, chat? But on top of that, there is even more to this. So, I do want to talk about another instance somebody else had. We just looked at this a second ago. This comes from Existential Bread. I love that name. And this was their issues that they had with the Advancedgg stuff.
Hey at ADVANCEDGG, dealing with this situation responsibly doesn't include removing negative reactions to your delaying this even further and immediately kicking people from your Discord for daring to do so. At this point, just keep him. You've shown your true face as a company, a supporter of murderers and pedophiles. You've done irreparable damage to your brand reputation in this community, and I hope this post is seen by anyone still considering supporting them. Whether you agree with them keeping or removing him,
I don't know what this
sensitive
is
to the
about.
point they remove negative Discord
I don't
reacts
know what
is
this is
insane
about.
behavior by a professional company. I don't know about anyone else, but not only will I not promote them, I will be unfollowing anyone I see still using their code or sharing their products.
We're aware of the unrest and concerns. This comes from Alex, the PR manager, so thank you guys for that. We're aware of the unrest and concerns being shared right now. We've already taken the necessary steps on our sides and are addressing the matter directly and privately under our conduct and representation standards, which I think is fine, right? I think that them addressing it and taking the time to do what they need to do, that's fine, right? But again, this should have been a swift and decisive statement rather than trying to shut down discussion. So, you know what I mean, John? Like, I feel like they just went about it wrong. We will not turn this into a spectacle, and we will not allow harassment or dark-piloting in the server. Please keep in mind our team is currently operating out of Minneapolis. We care deeply about the safety of our staff and the broader Minneapolis community. Obviously, talking about what happened last week, as well as everybody in our own community here. We appreciate your patience and understanding while we handle this responsibly. We're aware of the unrest and concerns being shared right now. We've already taken the necessary steps on our side, and we are addressing the matter directly and privately. Okay, so this was just showing downloading. So this is an actual joke. It's way too little too late for this. You're kicking people and removing negative reacts immediately while repeatedly delaying a decision on rev until you see how much it's going to impact your bottom line under the guise of needing time to investigate. I disagree with this. Any company does need time to actually do what they need to do. So I do disagree with this. Again, I will always say that allow a company to investigate and make an action before knee-jerk reaction of your own, right? Allow people to actually get their facts straight, to make sure that they are looking at the whole situation. I think that this is incorrect. But continuing, right? Taking time to work out the details of announcing you don't support his actions would have been one thing. Removing all discussion with this situation in your Discord. Think you got it for now. Deleting your own post because of the comments, refusing to speak up at all. So now, that is shit's performative, just looking for sympathy now. You realize you fucked your brain with your inaction. Which again, I feel like they should have been a lot more. They should have been a lot more forthcoming. But I do understand that they want to look into stuff, right? So, yeah, I can like. delaying isn't the right choice of words, right? It's more like investigating, which does take time. But also like just kicking people out on top of that, um, kicking people out on top of that and being like, hey, like, oh yeah, don't say anything. Like that is actually wrong as fuck. I very much disagree with that, chat. So before we continue, chat, can we all take a moment here and say, hey, we think that Advancedgg approached the situation incorrectly or their Discord. Do you agree with that? Yes or no? Yeah, what do you think, chat? Yeah, I think it's fair to say that they really were very sloppy about it, and I think that's fair. Let's continue here, chat. So this is what I want to get into. That's actually kind of crazy, right? So check this out. So on top of this, where's the response? So okay, so they ended up like addressing some stuff, right? Um, sorry, there's some pretty hateful stuff in there, but I don't want to get too much into that. So anyway, chat, there was a comment made towards their stuff as well. Maybe it was under here. Let me double check. I really thought the response was under here, but let me look under here. Okay, well anyway, chat, what happened was uh they went on to say that they were spreading oh, the post got taken down. That's why. Oh no, here it is. Here it is. Okay. We're back in business, baby. We're back in business. So, of course, Existential Brand goes on to say this. Alex says we removed you because you were spreading hate through emojis. How do you spread hate through emojis? And breaking server rules. You did not even have a valid brand ambassador account. But I researched just to set the record straight. So, yeah, and this right here, chat, is just not. Yeah, this is not a good response. Just spreading hate through emojis. How do you even do that? Like, I guess they were referencing the throw up one that they made, like you guys saw. I think this is really, really poor. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a really, really poor way to deal with this. On top of that, they go, hey, like, I'm sorry I'm spreading hate through emojis. You guys seriously need a PR team. That's crazy. Which, maybe the server was only for Advancedgg partners. They didn't have a business being there if they didn't actually have an account. But, I mean, this is just too much. So, again, chat, I think we can all agree that Advancedgg did not really deal with this situation in the best way, right? If their platform is to say, we do not want people part of our brand that are engaging in bad faith and inflammatory, and you stepped away from Rad because of that, I understand that. But also the way that they've gone about it, nah, bro, this ain't it. This really is not it. You're making yourself look really bad. Now, I will give you this, though, chat. The Advanced CEO did decide to speak out. And he actually wanted to talk about the story with his brother, which I think really states his political stance as well. There you go, guys.
My
Take a look.
brother's story. Could have been Mary, could have been Charles, could have been Claire, could have been me. I'm not asking people to change their alignment, but I hope your core values don't support what is happening. If you do, please disassociate yourself from my brand. Your move.
A very, very strong statement here. I just found out my brother, Minnesota born and 8 years in the military, but can look Hispanic, got racially profiled outside an Asian grocery store in Brooklyn Park. Cronin gets a car, handcuffed as they shouted racial slurs at him and told him he didn't belong here in the attempt to rile him up and hoping he would start something. He stayed calm, collected, did not raise his voice, answered their questions, and told them he was reaching for his documentation in his chest pocket before he did it, which is when they cuffed him and threw him against the car. Got his passport, veteran card, etc., and they continued the racial slurs and asked how they knew the documentation was real. Then his supervisor came and told him he was lucky that he was born here in Minnesota. That's the only reason to let him go. Otherwise, who knows where he might be right now. Two of the four of them who ganged up on him had guns in their hands. Thankfully, he had the wherewithal to wherewithal. What does that mean? Oh, money or other means needed for a particular purpose. Never heard of. Yeah, never heard of that. Wherewithal. Okay, gotcha. Wherewithal. Never heard of that word. Cool. Learned a new word today. Thankfully, he had the wherewithal to take his permitted concealed carry off and put it in his car before he got out when he saw the black SUVs outside the store. Otherwise, he may not even be alive to tell the story. This is my brother following instructions, maintaining calm composure the entire time. This is not okay. Look, I'm sorry, I'm stupid, okay? But you can see here, chat, that his brother had a very horrible experience, and obviously he has a very I'm going to assume here a very anti-I stance, which is obviously his political prerogative. He's allowed to believe in that, and I support that. So this is where he says what he has to say, right? So you would think that, you know, his values would align more with Lala, not so much as much with Rev, right? But that aside, again, I want to make sure I'm very clear about this. The reason that I believe that Advancedgg let go of Rev did not have to do with that. It had to do with the fact that he argued in bad faith and engaged in bad faith and was inflammatory. So, I mean, he does also say disassociate yourself from my brand, so it could be taken that it is political as well, chat. Which one do you think is more likely? The first or the second? What do you think, chat? I mean, look, dude, if I don't know something, I'm gonna look it up. Like, I don't care if people make fun of me for it like they did with Kai. I don't give a shit. Could be both. Second for sure, there's a PR damage control. There's absolutely no need to share this story. Hard to say. I think it might be a little bit of both. It could be a little bit of both. I'm leaning more towards one, but it could be a little bit of both. So anyway, this is what this EO had to say and share his story. On top of that as well, they came out with his first statement here, and talking about, you know, they're doing an investigation. So here you go, chat. On my TTS break again.
We want to address concerns that have been raised regarding a partner and recent conversations surrounding Advanced. Advanced does not support extremism or hate. We have zero tolerance for harassment, threats, doxing, or content that marginalizes any community. We are committed to inclusivity, respect, and maintaining a community where people feel safe and welcome. We are addressing recent concerns, including partnership matters, through our internal process. We will not do public call-outs or trial by social media. Advanced is not a political platform. Enforcement will be handled privately and consistently. Thank you to everyone who has supported Advanced over the years.
So this to me now is Advancedgg laying down their moral platform. So this is what Advancedgg believes in, right? This is what they stand on. This is their platform. So let's read this again, right? We are committed to inclusivity, respect, and maintaining a community where people feel safe and welcome. Do you feel like that Rev's statement towards Lala upheld this stuff, chat? The answer is no. The answer is no. So going by what Advancedgg says right here, this is, in my opinion, this is why I lean towards this answer, right? This is a part of the reason, or a whole of the reason why they let Rev go. This is why. But we're gonna come back and reference this because this is very important. So chat, I'm not gonna tell you to put this on the shelf. I want you to put it in your lap. I want you to hold it in your lap because it is very, very, very important. Very, very important, all right? Very, very important. So hold on to this, right? I mean, they cut him because of that. I mean, that's fine later. It's okay if you disagree. I think that the biggest thing to acknowledge is that Rev did wrong. The way that Rev went about it was absolutely incorrect. And I don't think that anybody can really argue against that, right? If you really feel like Rev didn't do wrong, I think you're entirely missing the whole point of what happened. I think you're coping. I'm going to be real. If you really feel like Rev, the way he approached that situation and went after Lala was not problematic, you've lost the plot. I'm going to be real with you. Now, again, if you disagree of how much this or that is, you know, whatever, right? You're allowed to do that. Lala's also wrong for going political in the first place. And you can argue that, right? But again, that doesn't excuse Rev actions. So that's irrelevant. To be honest, that's actually irrelevant, cat lover. That does not justify the way that the way that Rev went about and the things that he did. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind, right? Keep that in mind. We're really like at this point, you can put Lala to the side because we're talking about Advancedgg and Rev in his reaction and the way that he went about stuff, right? This doesn't really have to do with Lala. He chose to respond to Lala as well with his argument. That is on him, right? Let's continue here. Of course, we have the Advancedgg statement, and then finally, of course, we get a final statement from them, where they. I agree. I feel like he should not have responded. We've completed our internal review and have ended the partnership relationship at issue. We won't be discussing individual details publicly. Our standards are enforced consistently and staff and community's safety come first. I want you to put this in your lap. Our standards are enforced consistently. So again, chat, we have committed to inclusivity, respect, and maintaining community. We also have enforced consistently. Remember these things, chat, because they're going to be very important here in just a bit, all right? So, of course, we did get a final confirmation from Strop, going on to say both mine and Rev's contract with Advancedgg has indeed been terminated. So, it's over. That's it. Again, for whatever reason it was, whether it's a combination of this or that, I can't tell you. I'm leaning towards what I said earlier, but I am going to, again, stand on the platform that what Rev did to Lala and what he said was entirely unnecessary. So anyway, here is Rev's response to how everything went down. And this is, I think, his only response, by the way.
They want to big post, but they terminated me and Straub. Despite their request that I keep this private, I will be uploading my side of the story soon. Don't worry, Advanced.
Yeah,
there is no need to share private or confidential info. I will only speak to public information since your indecisiveness and hypocrisy has allowed this to become a public matter.
Well, which I can't say again that Advancedgg really dealt with this in the best manner, chat, which we all affirmed a little bit earlier.
Not to mention there are multiple partners in your company who have been harassing me and my wife, and we know you have been aware, and they are continuing to do so in the quotes of this response you made. Meanwhile, I never harassed anyone. You supported me, and monetized me, as someone who is unapologetically real and unfiltered until the hate mob of unreasonable people became too much for you. You bent the knee. Enjoy your new audience.
So of course he goes on to talk about like loud, fearless, and unapologetic. Real Rev says Desu embodies everything this supply line stands for. They're again just talking about, you know, again, like how he was marketed, right? So, and maybe it changed over time. Maybe in the time they've been partnered with them, he was one way, it went a completely other way, and they just felt this was too much, right? So there is a little bit of nuance to address in that. Of course, you know, meanwhile, never harassed anyone. A lot of people are going in here and pointing out things. You know, I thought about it. I'm not going to make a full video about this. There's enough information out there already. Well, I'm disappointed in how this ended. I'm ready to move on. You done this to yourself. No hate towards you or anything, but you literally target another creator for no reason. Simply because she's being harassed. So slayers in her comment section acted a hatred. You harassed a ton of people. You got caught. Now it's time to live with it. I mean, again, some people are really like, you know, going against him in these replies, right? So I still don't get why Lala thought it was an attack. Again, now you're really dumb if you don't get the fact of why this was problematic. Nothing in your response was hostile at all. Again, if you think that, you really missed the whole point of what happened. Once again, if they feel like he was like a brand risk, well, okay, that's fine. Like, but you know, I guess it came to a head at this thing, right? So So Rev decided to make a very small video on this, chat, the first couple of minutes of this video. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like he just, I don't know if this is just my opinion or what. I feel like Rev doesn't really address a lot of this. He just kind of, he loosely, vaguely mentions what happened, and that's kind of it. I feel like Rev might have the foresight to realize that he messed up with that response. And this is the cause and effect, right? Would you agree with that cause, or the effect being from that cause, right? But nonetheless, this was the effect of what he did, right? Obviously, if this is what Advancedgg stands on, then what he did would not align with this particular value, right? So, anyway, let's listen to what he had to say.
Here. So I have to start this video off by addressing the elephant in the room, so to speak. So after nearly 5 years of countless successful campaigns and introducing thousands of you guys to their company, Advanced has terminated the contracts of both me and my wife, Darling Straub. Now, I considered many factors when deciding how to respond to this. Yesterday on Twitter, I said I was going to make a full video, but after reflecting on things, I think it's in the best interest of everyone if I make a brief statement here and try to move on. Now, if you want additional context as to what transpired here over the past couple of days, there are plenty of YouTube videos.
I'm really surprised that he didn't address it, just very forthcoming. I'm very shocked by that. So I think that this is kind of his way to be like, dude, yeah, I messed up, but I'm gonna leave it right here, you know? So, yo, what's up, Sean? How are you? It's great to see you. Welcome in. We're talking about the Advancedgg Rev situation. How are you?
Already out there, as well as just general context on Twitter. All this was so public, you can figure out the narrative and why people like myself and countless others are not only shocked, but incredibly disappointed by how all of this.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really feel like you can be shocked considering what happened. I don't really think there's a big shock here, right?
Now, if you want to support me, and many of you guys did through Advance for years, that's not an option. My code doesn't work, my page is gone, and if you want to support the channel, continuing on from this moment, the best way is to watch my videos, like, comment, and subscribe.
So, Dan, I wanna address something here really quick because I've seen an argument, or not argument, but that comment, right? Did she deserve to be dropped? I would imagine, Dan, in my mulling over this in my head, I imagine that they talked with Rev and they said, we're gonna drop you, and Straub, obviously being Rev's wife, was very involved with it and said, well, you might as well drop me too. It was a group deal. And I think that's exactly what happened. I mean, yes, she was outspoken in supporting Rev, but again, she was not the one that said those things, right? So it wouldn't really make sense to drop her in the context of, hey, these are the things that we're trying to uphold, right? But again, I think it was more of a group deal, so.
And if you're a Giga Chad, drop a super thanks.
I really think that's why.
A heart from me, and that's probably the most direct and best way to support this channel. On top of that, I'm currently revamping my Patreon. I'll put a link to that in the pinned comment.
That would be my guess. If you want to know what I think about it.
Gonna really work on that. And also there's some other merch options.
I mean, allegedly people have told me that Rob has said some statements. I see this in chat sometimes. I haven't seen them myself. So, I would need to see those first before I would even address her separately. But that is also a separate topic for a separate time, right, chat? So, yeah, but anyway, she did involve herself by supporting Rev. That is true. But again, I think that the actual reason that it was dropped was it was a package deal.
I'm working on at the moment, but obviously it's not final yet. And when they are final, I'll let you guys know. But that is the situation. It's been a very disappointing and frustrating couple of days. Again, for the people who know the full context of what has transpired, you understand why a lot of people are upset about this, but I feel like it was in your guys' rights, as many of you are supporters of Advance, to understand what happened here and that I am no longer working with them, and that is a final decision.
I feel like this is very kind of shifting the narrative, because he's like, well, I won't be working with them. Well, it wasn't really you left, you got fired first, so you can't really be like, oh, it's a final, I'm not gonna work with them. Like, they cut you out first. You know what I mean? So you can't really say that. But also, like, I wanted to give you the full context. So you didn't really give us any context. You're just like, well, go look it up, right? And, like, again, I feel like this is kind of like dodging a lot of the stuff, right? Some of the things in here where it's like, look, dude, I'm gonna be honest. Like, it would have been better if you just said, I did too much here. I did too much, and you know, because I did that, this is ultimately what happened. What do you think of that, chat? Is that fair to say? You can't find me because I quit first. Yeah, that's kind of how it feels a little bit. So I'm like, this is all he addresses in here, by the way. So, again, I wanted to point this out. These are our only responses. Whether you agree or disagree, whether you agree or disagree with Advancedgg, right? Obviously, everybody is allowed to support them or not support them. Whatever you want to do, right, chat? But what I do want to say is if these are Advancedgg's morals, if these are the platform that they stand on, then I'm not surprised that Rev was removed from the company because of that reason, right? I could see that. Now, what I want to talk about here, chap, is how Advancedgg is also being extremely hypocritical. So we're going to look at that. Of course, I do want to point out just one last thing here. Takeo said, that's crazy because when I contacted you to notify you that one of your partners are regularly engaging in inexcusable and hateful content, you did nothing after sending me an assurance that you would look into it. Their products are still listed on your site. So, you know, it sounds like the way they dealt with it through Discord, there's prior problems they haven't addressed. Not so great, right, chat? But what I do want to address with you is, let's take a look at this. I'm going to remind you of all of this, right? This comes from Advancedgg. They say, we're committed to inclusivity, respect, and maintaining a community where people feel safe and warm and welcome, and our standards are enforced consistently. Okay, remember that. Remember that. You guys got it? Everybody got that stored in your head? Type 0 if you got this stored in your head. Just like the amount of brain cells we all have. 0. It's right here, chat, okay? Remember these things because they're going to prove to be very, very important. Well, now we got to talk about Vex Milk here for a second. So, Rev going on to tweet out, hey, Advancedgg, why is one of the current faces of your company, Vex Milk, currently scrubbing your accounts of tweets, harassing me and my wife? Is harassment grounds for termination? I don't know about harassment, but I will say there's some stuff in here that does not promote inclusivity and respect. Let's go take a look here. He's gone, fuck yeah, those are my gamers. I mean, like, I think harassment's a very strong word here, but I will also at least point out that there's some things that are being said that are, like, not good, right? Which I think like gloating and celebrating is kind of like why. I block you if you defend rappers, Rob. You licky weirdos. Okay, I mean, there you go. Anyway, I'm muting this now because I'm not putting up any weirdos. Defending somebody would wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire. I enjoy who I work for and not like who I work with. Demanding something be done and not allowing the time for, you know, get done is insane to me. You know, fuck guys, fuck Rav, and fuck you if you defend. Item 1, get back on your knees where you belong and keep licking. Maybe it'll praise you eventually because God knows your parents didn't. Again, I don't think it's this harassment, but I will also say that's not really
as much I said Rev is in the wrong despite liking him. I don't agree with how it went, but it had to happen cause Advanced was gonna get huge backlash both sides anyways from poorly handling the situation.
No, it's definitely not
aren't
harassment,
gonna come back and the pre-rev people aren't coming back cause they bent the knee in their eyes.
Yeah, it's definitely not harassment.
It does disgust me the amount of brave dancing celebrating Rev's removal from people who hated him to before this and grossly bringing up his personal life with Straub.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. That doesn't need to be done. That doesn't need to be done. Of course, you know, Straub goes on to say, just honestly hurts me that they seem to allow this type of stuff for so long this week with no repercussions. Even after I pointed out to them multiple times, I tried hard to be polite by my tongue. What did I do to even deserve some of that? I mean, again, Vex isn't harassing you. That's not what's going on, but I will say that there's some things that are being said that also do not align with Advancedgg's quote-unquote platform, right? They picked these people over as the fact that they thought nobody was screenshotting their tweets before they deleted them as hilarious. Again, this is a stretch, right? This is a stretch. I don't think that we need to answer hate with more hate, right? I will always continue to openly admit that I can be extremely hostile in response to disrespect or hate. The excuse for it, no. I mean, you shouldn't receive that anyway, right? I just always go toe-to-toe, but I'm going to practice self-restraint. I won't pretend that I don't say things that are cruel in response to cruelty directed to me. I definitely do, but I will say that I never got in my way to be needlessly cruel. Even though being cruel itself is never needed, I'm going to work on that. Reading my replies back definitely made me realize I have to get out of the fight, fire with fire mentality, which I agree with, right? Because there are some things that she has said that are way too much. Way too much. Like this, chat. So the thing is here is like, well, what I'm pointing out here, chat, is multiple things can exist at the same time, right? Multiple things can exist at the same time. They can separate from Rev because they feel like he does not live up to this, right? I can see that. But to be fair, right, chat? If they say that they enforce consistently and these are their values, this does not fall under that. You know what I mean? So as much as like Rev says, oh, he's being harassed, I don't agree with that. But I will say that Vex is not upholding the morals that Advancedgg is trying to quote unquote uphold, right, in their own platform. So you know what I mean, chat? It feels like, okay, well, if that's the reason you let go of Rev, you also got to make sure you hold this person accountable as well. And it sucks because I've collabed with Vex. I like Vex, but this for me is just like, dude, no. You know what I mean? Like that's not okay. You shouldn't be throwing that stuff out there. You know what I mean?
I've said this plenty of times about Vex. I'm happy that she's finally getting the surgery she needs because she doesn't need to suffer her medical issues. That being said, I think she needs to step away for a bit for her mental health because she's crashing out far too often, I've seen.
Yeah, and obviously here it's like, well, since you don't support extremism or hate, let me inform you, this is one of your partners. So you're going to be fair,
rules when it's convenient for you is still consistently.
I guess so. Under the weirdest consistency, but yeah. Of course, I think it's valid for Advancedgg and their partners to now be held under a microscope from now on because of the precedent they have set. They claim what Rev did was harassment, but excuse history, but ignore it. There's got to be a balance, right, chat? You know what I mean? So I want to make this very clear. Let me give this to you right now. I think that if Advancedgg let go of Rev because of the fact that he was inflammatory and he also engaged in bad faith, then absolutely he deserved to be let go under that reasoning, right? But also, if that is also their reasoning, you have to hold Vex accountable as well because stuff like this isn't okay, right? I get it. People say hateful stuff, right? All the time. But you are in control of your actions and your response. You know what I mean? So Vex Milk. I'm not gonna sit here and say that. I'm not gonna sit here and say that Vex deserves any harassment. Nobody deserves any harassment. That's absolutely horrible, and I don't stand for that either, right? I do not stand for that. That's absolutely unacceptable. But if we're gonna hold somebody accountable, we have to uphold everybody accountable, right? And so I think the biggest thing I want to point out when I go back to this is why everybody has left Advancedgg. They literally just, whatever their platform is they stand on, they're inconsistent, they're wishy-washy, they don't seem to actually know what they want, their enforcement is really bad. It's Advancedgg is like not the place I think to be. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, it just seems like they don't really know what they want, right? They really don't know what they want. And again, like, I get that as well, leader, trust me. Just the thing is if this is their platform, what you said goes against that, right? It really does. So, yeah, I would like to see Vex on hiatus again, my refresh center, bring pots and deputy to standards. Which, I mean, I'm going to be real. I think it's just a huge crash out for Vex. And it really sucks because I know they're attacking her about, like, being like she doesn't have cancer and stuff like that, which is insane, right? I mean, she's already shown plenty of proof to that, etc., right? My point in covering this is that I want to show you that I think Advancedgg is just...
In this horse race,
I don't know
Advanced
what they don't know what the fuck
getting
they're
held
doing.
up at the start while figuring out their principles.
I think that's a good way to put it. I think along the way, they figured out where they wanted to stand. You know what I mean? I think exactly that's what it was. They figured out where they wanted to stand. They did that. But it was a little bit too late. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be quick. You have to be strong. And you have to make a decisive statement with finality. And they didn't do that. Not really anywhere along the way. They didn't even be like, hey, guess what? Like, we're looking into this in a quick and decisive manner, right, chat? And that sucks. That sucks so badly because that's just what people wanted, right? They just kind of waited around before they even said they were going to do an investigation. It's like, come on, dude. Like, give us an answer, right? Now, what I will say to Vex's benefit is she did say, look, dude, I need to practice more self-restraint. Being cruel itself is never needed. Fighting fire with fire is not the way to do it. So I do respect that a lot coming from her. I think that is more so than other parties involved have done. So I think that, to their credit, this is really good. So, the chat, I looked at this and I saw this as almost maybe a bit of a deflection, right? And like, I looked at it, I want to be fair. So I'm like, okay, is this a bit of a deflection? And while I don't think Rev is being harassed, I do think that there is some behaviors that Vex is exhibiting that don't fall under this standard. Is that fair to say, right, chat? Maybe it's not to this extreme, but there are some behaviors that's like, yeah, that's not great. Yeah, and at first I felt like it was a full-on deflection, and I'm like, I mean, it's like a half deflection because there's not really that much truth to it. But at the same time, like, yeah, there's some stuff in there that's like, okay, yeah, if you're going to hold everybody to a standard, you got to do it for everybody, to be fair, right? But I think it says a lot more about Advancedgg, and that's my point, right? I want the takeaway today to be like, dude, Advancedgg just doesn't know what they want. And if you don't know what you want, that's okay, but you need to start standing for something, right? I think that's the best way to put it. So let me ask you, chat. I'm gonna ask you two very definitive questions here. Do you feel like Rev deserved to lose their sponsorship? Yes or no? Under the pretense of this being the reason. And obviously, it's okay how you feel about it. Everybody's going to feel differently about it, right? Everybody's going to say it should be more extreme, it should be less, whatever, right? Obviously, everybody's stepping away from it. They have the reasons. There are obviously more things going on behind the scenes as I talk to other people.
I want to point out that from all of this,
right?
I don't like that people use her cancer as a defense mechanism for attacking back at Rev and others criticizing her for those strongly harsh tweets like those.
I haven't seen that.
No matter what
but
illness you
if that's
have, you can't
sure.
excuse bad behavior or actions regardless.
I agree with that. I don't think they've dispelled
But it's very
that
disrespectful to her and to anyone who has suffered cancer and are nice people. I don't accept the apology personally, but I still hope for Vex to improve herself.
Yeah, and everybody's got their own level of acceptance of an apology, right? Everybody has their own, line or whatever. I just think it's important to point out that at the end of the day, guys, Advancedgg is really at fault here for a lot of things, right? Yes, they can suck, and also Rev can lose his sponsorship and deserve it. That can be simultaneously exist if this is the platform they're standing on, because obviously Rev's statement didn't fall under that. But I do want to point out that Advancedgg just seems very lost. They don't seem like they know what the fuck they're doing. And all of this exists simultaneously. It's not even like, you know what I mean? It's not even like, it's one or the other. This can all be driving on the road at the same time. L3, thank you for the bits. And yes, Chad, I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. So what do you think, chat? What do you think about this whole situation? I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I know it's a very big situation and it's a very heavy situation, but I would love to hear what would change things for you. Was there something that Advancedgg could have done different in your eyes? What do you think? It's a shit show, yeah. I agree. I agree. And really, it's really hard to hold people accountable when the company itself is so confused, right? Because the question I keep getting asked, everybody is like, oh, do you think that Rev deserved to lose their sponsorship? And I'm like, I'm not part of Advancedgg. I don't know. I have no idea what Advancedgg stands for. I'm not the CEO. But if Advancedgg says this, then all I can do is judge. Advancedgg says this person didn't fall under this. But when you say this and you don't live up to this and enforce it consistently, yeah, I gotta point that out, right? So I gotta be fair to both sides. Gotta be fair to every side. So personally, I think anybody should have lost their sponsorships. That being said, considering how inconsistent they are with their beliefs, I think Rev is better off disassociating with them. I'm being honest, I think all the people left dodge a bullet. I think they're probably going to be much better without them. I mean, again, I wonder why they all kept leaving before they let the investigation go down, but I think for them, it was just the end of the line, That's what I think. So now I'm going to do something a little bit different, chat. You guys ready? I'm going to do something a little bit different. I want to open this up just for a moment for you to, in good faith, hit me with anything that I have said that you disagree with. If there's anything I've said that you just venomously disagree with, hit me with it right now. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear your opposition. Leroy, thank you for the bits. Would love to hear it. So please fire away. What's your take on Whataburger? Burgers are good, fries suck.
Arby's.
Arby's fucking sucks. I mean, again, like, I like opposition. Like, you don't always have to see and agree with me, guys, I think Advancedgg needs to be looking at the people they're inviting into the program. Absolutely. Look, they need a full-on revamp, you know what I mean? Like, they need to look who's coming in. They need to look at who's going out. They need to look at their systems. I mean, like, there is so many things going on. Yo, thank you for the hype train, y'all. I like to agree. I still think Rev's stupid thing was blown out of proportion. Do you understand why it was so problematic, though, Farah? Do you know why it blew up so big? Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Does anybody know why this blew up so big? I actually have two really good points that I think a lot of people ignore, actually. Well, guys, do you know why this blew up so much? There's two big reasons. I'm gonna tell you for everybody that wants to kind of downplay a little bit. I'm gonna tell you two things. Number one, he engaged in bad faith that was inflammatory. Number two, he specifically did it to Lala. That's like, I'm gonna be honest, chat. Going after Lala is like the equivalent of going after like Iron Mouse Jr. You know what I mean? Like, Lala is considered one of the nicest, most respectable, friendly, hardworking, caring, productive, and positive VTubers out there. So you went after somebody that is, you poked the bear, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you bullied Santa Claus, you know what I mean? So that's why it got such a vitriol reaction, Like, if somebody, like, wants to go after me, Well, yeah, they know I talk news, right? So it's not that big of a deal, right? They're just like, okay, yeah, you know, newstuber, fuck them, I hate newstubers, right? Like, there you go, right? So, I'm only creators see FIC targeted creators Steam after 1950s. Exactly. So, honestly, I think it's because the ice tension situation. The moment she's posted FIC is going to get every response. Yeah, I agree, Alex. And I think she understood that. You know what I mean?
Going after Lala is like going after Matthew Lillard.
Exactly. Like, you went after one of the VTubers that is so highly respected. And again, the way that he said, oh my God, you're a 50s VTuber, so you believe in the ethics and morals. Again, that was the bad faith. It was inflammatory. And that's why. Leader, her statement was not meant to entice any type of nuance at all. I think there's actually nuance and understanding that there wasn't supposed to be nuance. It's a very strong and finalized statement, you know what I mean? I can believe that, but I don't really hear much about Lala, but I heard about her during the first Fallout TV show, yeah. I mean, she's a big deal. She's highly respected. She is. I mean, I'll be honest, I look at Lala's stuff with, like, great, like, reverence and respect. I think she's a wonderful, amazing woman and a creator as well. If that gives you anything, chap, I look at Lala as, like, she's incredible, guys. I think that she is a literal inspiration. That's how much I look up to her. To give you, like, a little context, at least from, like, a personal standpoint, right, chap? Not Infinity's cancellation campaigns over every little thing. And I do get that, Dan. I mean, maybe it was a pattern of behavior. Who even knows? What did they discuss? You know, what did they discuss in that meeting? We're never going to know. Maybe it was something else entirely unrelated as to why he was dropped. Maybe they decided to lower his monthly revenue or something. I don't know, right? There's could be other things. All we're looking at is what is available to us, but I've collabed with her plenty of times. Yeah, I've collabed with her a lot. There you go, chat. I appreciate all of you discussing this in a very positive and informational way as always. But guys, I am not done.
I believe Rev got too addicted to chasing down the big VTubers. It's just weird for him to be chasing her just because she said an opinion that had nothing to do with revelation. Politics have real-world consequences, and maybe everyone should think twice before saying anything.
I think it's a fair point as well, right? Like, you can't just shout whatever you want all the time, right? Especially if you have a sponsorship. There are certain repercussions, right? Hey, yo, what is this? Yo, what the fuck? Yo, I love this. Not Vexorian. Hey, yo. Hey, was it Desiree? Oh my god, hey, yo. That's the greatest tier redeem of all time. I love that. Yeah, I think it was Desi. Hey, yo. So, chat, I am not done. By the way, thank you for the hype train. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. I'm not done, chat. I'm coming in blurry. I'm coming in blurry, chat, apparently. Because I want to talk about something even crazier, chat. And today, we're going to be talking about Powder, chat. Does anybody know who Powder is? Raise your hands in the chat if you know who Powder is. I'm coming in like a Japanese adult film. What is wrong with you? Yeah, we're going to be talking about Powder today, chat. Now, Powder recently has come under fire for a very interesting situation. One that I was very interested in covering because I'm gonna die. Now, I'm very interested in covering this because I've never seen a situation like this. So here we go, chat. I want to discuss what's going on with Powder. So anyway, Powder has recently gone viral after sharing some clips. If you don't know much about Powder, I'm gonna show you these clips. I'm gonna drop a little lore. Guys. So, Powder normally makes very controversial tweets and videos about certain things, right? They're meant to be, you know, rage media inflammatory, whatever you want to say about it, right? They're meant to be that way. That's just the content that she makes, right? So anyway, take a listen to this. I'm going to show you a few clips, and then we're going to talk about what happened. So to give you a little heads up, this is a customizable model, okay, chat? Customizable model. Here you go.
Oh no, you're a racist. And? Question mark? If that's their way of attacking someone for standing up for their country and their people, then so be it. That doesn't offend me at all. Oh no, you're a...
Again, I don't know if this is... Oh, it definitely broke out of the VTuber sphere, so... Again, I don't know if she's trying to make fun of people throwing the word racism around, and that's not real, but... Yeah, there's nuance to be made, all right? Again, I don't know if she's talking about people freely throwing the word racist around. I don't know, right? And the first time I listened to it, I was kind of like, oh, like... And I was like thinking about it. I'm like, okay, well... All right, let's keep looking at the clips, right? Let's keep looking at the clips. Well, of course, he says 10K racist. Let's go. Okay, it seems like you're poking the bear a little bit with this, right? Like, which is very on brand for her stuff. You know what I mean? So, here's also another thing here as well.
Trump broke my heart. I was looking forward to the wall, and he broke my heart. I'll never believe him anymore. Trump.
Again, this is just it's very edgy type of content, right? It's very just you know, rage media inflammatory stuff. It's very... This is just the stuff she makes, right? This is very on brand for Powder.
I think if I were to read a political book, it would probably be mine. You see, if I were to read some...
Obviously referencing the book that Hitler wrote, Mein Kampf. That is what she is referencing here. So again, you know, edgy stuff, right? Let's continue because I have more clips to show. Rage bait, yeah, it's rage bait, literally. So here's another one here as well. Now, I want to make this clear. This is her model. She goes by like another name with this, but this is her model.
The only reason people should be upset with ICE is because they're not doing enough. They need to deport more people. They would have to deport like thousands of people every week in order to make a dent in the issues that we have right now. But that's not going to happen. So, the only reason people should be upset with us.
There's that clip. Now, the rage media stuff is whatever, right? Yeah, the rage media stuff here is like, yeah, you're pretty borderline at this point, right? It doesn't really come off as like a joke or like haha anymore. It's like, yeah, this is some rage bait stuff, right? We're getting into the hot zone. That's a good way to put it. It's rage bait, more of a statement of their political views. What I don't agree with, chat, is the history of Powder. So back a while ago, in case you don't know this, which for some reason everybody conveniently forgot about Powder, which blows my mind, by the way. I actually covered Powder where she was discussing... Oh, no, I have the actual bad shit. Yeah, give me a second. Give me a second, right? So, I mean, this is stating her political views. She said some very, like, edgy rage media stuff. Not my speed, right? But what I will point out to you is how she had a controversy where she went after another creator that was kind of a little bit similar to her, like barely similar to her. I mean, I interviewed her during that time, and she went on to say some pretty messed up stuff. So let's go take a look at that before we go. I'm only pulling Rev's video because he has it just easier access. I couldn't find it in my VODs. Anyway, here we go, guys.
with the model or the creator of the art. Since what you're going to hear is Powder doubling, tripling, and quadrupling down on all of their posts, including the sarcastic and
yeah, too many bots.
quite
I couldn't
frankly,
find it, so I'm like,
somewhat
I know
rude
Rev at it.
responses they had
I'm gonna
over the
pull it from
past
Rev.
24 hours. And you can even see Elara trying to kind of push them towards the right response, and they still just make some pretty unhinged remarks.
And you were emotional,
I didn't
but unfortunately that's
intend
what happened.
harm from other people. I intended harm from myself to them.
I intended harm from myself to them. I intended harm from myself to them. Nah, dude, numb. Nah, dude, numb. So, leader, this is talking about this monocopy situation, how she addressed this whole thing and how she was talking towards this other person, right? She went about it in this really just awful way, and that's what I was pointing out to her. And she's like, yeah, I intended harm towards this person. Yeah, dude, numb. This is the history of Powder, by the way. This is like, I don't really feel like her behavior has really changed much, to be honest, but this is the history, in case you want to know.
People. I intended harm from myself to them, right?
Yeah, but that's not what happened, bro.
I understand.
That's not what happened at all.
I understand, but I'm trying to like get your advice in this. Should
Well, like,
I
would never really
say that I
would never really
admit
like
that I
intend
was
harm from me to somebody else. You know, like I don't think
well,
that way.
that's yes,
She does
one of these
recognize
people.
that. Yeah, this was really rough, chat. And I remember when I did this interview, you know, I talked to Rev a little bit. I'm just like, dude, that's a big no for me. That's a big yikes. And I feel like everybody forgets about that because when this went down, right? You know, yeah, like Powder was definitely criticized quite heavily, rightfully so, for what happened, right? Leader, I just told you. Yeah, I literally just told you. She intended harm towards this other person that was allegedly copying her when they weren't actually copying her. Yeah, everybody conveniently forgets about this. So now we go from this to, of course, this rage baity type content, whatever, right? And I know that's for some people, and I know that's not for everybody. It's not for me, dude. I don't, this humor's not for me, but I will never forget, as long as I remember, her saying these words. Like, I'm just like, what? Like, oh, you're talking about the base of the situation. Okay, so she said that this person looked similar to her, and she tried to go after her and cancel her because she looked like slightly similar to her. When they actually had like so many differences, there was no problem. So yeah, she basically went after her, tried to cancel her, and of course, right here she says, "Yeah, I intended harm towards that person," and I'm like, what? Like, I will never forget that as long as I make news. How much that stands out to me. I mean, that is just absolutely wild. But yeah, you know, again, looking at that prior controversy, looking at what's going on now as well, I think you can see the pipeline, right, chat? Yeah, it's straight up disseminated in 4K. So here is all of it, chat. You can see everything. This is her old stuff, and here is her, you know, new rage baity, edgy stuff, right? So not anything that I enjoy, not anything I really want to mess with. After this was done, I muted her. You know, I was like, nah, dude, I'm done. Well, what we got to talk about here, chat, now that we've talked about Powder a little bit, is this customizable model. And I gotta say, chat, our collusion to spread the mythic mafia, yeah. And again, I know that she's had takes on certain stuff that I'm like, oh, like I see it slide across my desk, but I just delete it. I'm like, I don't really want to engage with this person, right? But what I do want to talk about recently that happened here is the use of this customizable model. And I've never seen this happen, chat. This is a absolutely crazy incident. So I want to talk about it because I think that it's really brought up some interesting questions, right? So again, this is the one where she says this. And of course, this is the maker of the model. They go on to say, hello, we request you no longer use this model to make extreme remarks. This is a customizable model, Vtuber model, and your controversial statements may make other list meta users feel uncomfortable and offended. We do not insist that you delete your previous video. We do not insist that you delete your previous videos. We greatly appreciate if you choose to do so, but we ask you refrain from making extreme videos using our model going forward. Otherwise, we will revoke your model usage rights. I didn't even know that was a thing. That is actually kind of fucking crazy. Wow, that blew me away. That blew me away. So, you know, of course, just pull the plug. They're going to keep doing it. What extreme remarks that she made? Well, Pharaoh, now you know what extreme remarks she's made. Yeah, I showed you, so at least one good one, right? But, you know, if it is within the TOS, technically, that is something they could enforce. So let's go look to the TOS. List Meta is a highly customizable 3D or live 2D model. Thoughtfully designed for virtual streamers and content creators, offering over 1,000 customizable options. You can freely mix and match hairstyles, outfits, accessories, etc. We truly hope this model brings you endless creativity, fun, and inspiration. The use of this model to generate unfriendly or hateful speech is strictly prohibited. You maintain multiple accounts on the same platform that appear unrelated, such as those with the entirely distinct usernames and avatars. You must purchase a separate copy. Etc. Right? So they do go on to say, like, you can't resell, but you can't make unfriendly or hateful speech. So here's some things that we gotta talk about, right, chat? Here's some things we're gonna talk about with TOS, right? So I do want to point out, it is in this TOS now. Wasn't there before, right? A lot of customizable models come with this TOS. You know, again, he's trying to reach out to her, hasn't really, got an answer, whatever, but he is reaching out to her, right? So trying to figure out, if they can figure out something. So let's go take a look at what some model artists say. And then, Chad, I want to give you what the actual lawyer says. But of course, other artists are like, hey, like, you're not allowed to make merchandise, do chargeback, use the model to express hateful speech, racism, xenophobia, transphobia, homophobia, etc., right? So, obviously, maybe people have different reactions to what they consider hateful. I mean, this is very straightforward, but, I do think that that's pretty straightforward. Now, some people might have, different levels of something, and that should probably be spelled out in your TOS, but nonetheless, that's important, right? So there's some things to consider here, right? When was this made? So adjusting a TOS after, I don't think you can revoke the license afterwards, right? But also at the same time, a lot of artists in, TOS can also be like, hey, these are changeable anytime. You automatically consent if they change, etc., right? So there are ways to uphold it to people, even if after the change in the TOS, they would still be held to that, right? Because normally I would say, like, well, guess what? You would normally be exempt from that if the TOS was changed after. But sometimes there are ways to, work around that, right? So there are things in place. Places update TOS all the time and expect current users to abide. Yeah, exactly. So there are things around that do surround this, chat. Deja Wu also goes on to add to this a little bit. And again, Nova, I get where you're coming from, right? If you pay for it and they change it to us without your knowledge to fit some kind of prerogative, that is problematic. So we're gonna ask a lawyer about this, an actual real life lawyer, right? So again, VTubers, please understand the difference between ownership and licensing. In most cases, you're buying a license to use the model, not owning it, which means those rights can be revoked unless it was explicitly agreed as a work for hire. You paid for usage rights, not ownership, which you do have to acknowledge that with VTubing. It's like you buy a puppy when you're married, right? You both kind of own it. The artist still owns part of that model to a degree, right? But at the same time, there's a balance to be made where you should be exempt from a TOS that was recently changed, right? So I reached out to Kono. Kono, who's an
I
actual
disagree
lawyer.
when people are saying that this is giving into cancel culture. People who leave a sponsor or the model rights holders concerned with the bottom line, money. Yes, what you present and how you carry yourself online matters.
Yeah,
That is
that's
why
true.
I make sure what's in context when I post something so I don't lose current or potential sponsors. It's business common sense. But to be fair, we all human and prone to make mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. But have they changed it to US or did I already mention that when they got a model? So, Jen, I'm not sure. Because I saw that they said they were going to add some stuff to it. But I don't know if it was already there before. I couldn't find it. So I'm just kind of like, I'm not really going to like dive too deep into that. Because I want to address both sides of it, right? Yes, there is a point where you should be exempt from it after. But also like you're buying the, the licensing to use it, right? So, if you guys don't know Kono is the actual lawyer, chat. We've talked to Kono. He was here, not too long ago, but he is the actual real life licensed lawyer, chat. I reached out to Kono, and I said, Kono, I want you to give this to me as simply as possible. Here's Kono, by the way.
But I'm
like, Kono,
really like
give it to me as simply as possible. I want to know the TLDR on this. So here is what Kono said. The short answer is yes. It is likely revocable, but complicated, expensive, and difficult to actually do. So there you go, chat. More than likely, it is revocable, but it's a pretty complicated, difficult, and expensive thing to actually uphold. So I think with anything, right? Like it's if you use anything, right? Let's say that you're using a model, or let's say that you're using something that has a brand on it, right? Like Gamer Subs. Let's use Gamer Subs as a good example, right? I'm partnered with Gamer Subs, and if I disrespect Gamer Subs, right, that reflects poorly on me. It reflects poorly on them, right? Just like you're using a pre-made model. If you say very controversial stuff, very edgy, rage bait humor kind of stuff, you've said that you've intended to harm people in the past, you already have a very controversial history as well, that can reflect poorly on that person as well, right? So there's almost like a symbiotic relationship that goes along. I think there should have been a way to distribute it, yeah. And obviously they should, Kasana, I agree with that. I think that there is responsibility here on Powder's part to not act in a way that would be disrespectful to the artist, right? It's just about morals and ethics. But when the actual person is stepping up and they're like, yo, dude, this is a problem, it's kind of like, that's a yikes, right? And Powder's already controversial. You know what I mean? So, going by what Kono told us, he said, yes, it is likely revocable, but complicated, expensive, and difficult to actually do it. I think that if you're getting to a point where the model artist is stepping in and they're like, dude, like the things that you're like doing, your history of controversy, etc. Yeah, now we got some problems. Because again, chat, I'm going to point out to you, a person that intends harm on somebody else, to have them canceled over you think their model is a copy of you or whatever, that's morally reprehensible, right, chat? That's not even like a question.
And harm from other people. I intended harm from myself to them, right?
That is very morally reprehensible, chat. That is not a morally sound person that would do something like that to somebody else, right? So, yes, to be fair, this was a little over a year ago, right? But nonetheless, like, that type of thinking, that type of vitriol towards people is really, really not okay. It's not okay. And then now, obviously they've gone down this really edgy hate bait, rage bait route. And if that's what you want to do, I guess that's what you want to do. I don't want to engage in your content. That's my prerogative, just as much as you're allowed to as well. I'm not saying you're not going to be judged for it, right? But yeah, I just don't think that this is the most sound moral person already, chat. So now we're coming up to a problem where, hey, this model artist is like, hey, dude, like, nah, this is way too much. This is too extreme. And it does look like, again, it is likely revocable. So this is consulting with an actual lawyer, right, chat? So ultimately, let me ask you all, what do you think of this situation? What's your thoughts? Again, I think there is a point where you should be exempt from certain stuff if, you know, the TOS is updated. But also, like, again, when you have a VTuber model, you are relying on the artist, right? You are sharing part of that model, right? There's always that attachment back to the artist. And you know what? I think so as well, Nora. I think that the artist is allowed to be like, hey, like, you're controversial, right? And that's a problem to me, right? I know a lot of people be like, oh no, like they have no right to complain, this or that. They could change the, you know, move the goalposts whenever. And I do think that that's a fair point as well. You know what I mean? Like, because anybody can be like, oh, well, I don't like your face. So, I don't like you use my bottle because your eyes are purple. It's mine. You know what I mean? Like, so there's like a balance to be made here, right? But I think looking at the history, looking at obviously the very controversial takes, I'm not surprised by this. Are you surprised by this, chat? Yeah, they just told her to stop. Yeah, good point. That's a good point, Mass. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point as well, Noctis. Maybe they would want to refund it in good faith, but I think it's very fair to say that, like it won't happen. Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah, I don't think so either. She, from what I've seen in her past, she's pretty steadfast in just being like, this is my opinion and that's it. You know what? And that's fine. If that's what you want to support, that is your choice. You know, all I can do is tell you, here's the history. Here's the stuff that she's currently doing, and it's obviously controversial. And I think the artist has a pretty has the right to at least say something, right? Even if, let's say, it wasn't for any of this, this alone by itself would already be problematic. This isn't something that you walk away from like
unless
tomorrow,
you can
right,
present
chat?
an argument
You made
for
the
freedom
statement,
of
it lives
speech
in you
or have your
forever.
own independent
You know?
IP, the right holders, platform holders, or any licensor has the right to revoke.
Yeah.
Of course there is the courts if the parties need to settle it their hashtag.
Yeah, again, it is a very average powder thing. 100% agree with you, Ruby. I honestly, I'm not surprised this happened. I'm surprised that the model artist actually said something, right? Yeah, I don't know, Cindy. I have no idea. I'll be honest, I used to love Powder. I loved her, dude. Like, I loved her models. I loved her content. I would be hanging out with her when she played Dark Souls. Dude, I used to really fuck with Powder, but yeah, not anymore. After this, dude, it just, she lost the plot for me. Angel, actually, here, I'll play the whole clip for you again so you can listen to it.
Quite frankly, somewhat rude responses they had over the past 24 hours. And you can even see Elara trying to kind of push them towards the right response and
Intend harm.
some pretty unhinged remarks.
And you were
I
emotional,
didn't
but unfortunately that's what
intend
happened.
harm from other people. I intended harm from myself to them.
He was talking about how, like, she had, like, she was talking to some other people, right? And she's like, yeah, I didn't intend harm through, like, the people I was talking to. I intended harm from myself to them. I mean, it's a very clear line. There's no, oh, maybe we should interpret it differently. Like, no, that's a pretty straightforward, strong line. You know what I mean? So, there's no, like, oh, well, perspective. Like, you literally said you intended harm towards somebody else. Through you to them. Because you wanted to see them canceled because you thought they were copying you or whatever, right? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, even still right now, Soulheart, my model is like 99% me, but 1% Nez. There will always be that part of it that Nez owns,
Show
right?
love
I
100
always have
just
to give
showing
that to
some
him.
love to our gothic news boobtuber Elara up Elara headbang.
Oh, I got you with a lie. That's why I was confused. Yeah, it's you. Well, wait, what do you mean it was a lie? She was saying that she went after this person, right? she went after this person. She said, I was intending harm towards this person by trying to get them canceled. She said this. I, Powder, intended harm towards this person and tried to get them canceled because they quote-unquote copied me. Is that clear, Vega? I just want to make sure you're good, dude. Before we move on, right? I don't want you to be confused. I wouldn't want to do that. Does that make sense, everybody? So I guess I gotta ask you. Yeah, no. She said she did this towards this person, and that's why I'm like, I stopped. I stopped. I muted her at that point. I stopped fucking with her. I was like, nah, dude, I'm done. That's a wild ass statement. So let me ask you all, chat. How do you feel about this? Do you think the artists should be able to revoke it? Should they not? What's your thoughts, chat? What do you think? I thought she was going to clear shit up. I mean, it was very off the cuff, by the way. I didn't invite her. She showed up. We talked about it live on stream. That's exactly what happened. It was all fresh off the mind. So I'm even more convinced that that's exactly how she felt, because there was no time to prep. There was no type of, little like bit of shield in front of you. Like, she just straight threw that out there. Like, that was just like, you know what I mean? So, normally you have an interview, you got some time to prep a little bit. This was just off the cuff. They can do with it once so long as they stay with people can and cannot do with their model before setting it for use. I agree with that, Snow. And again, I don't know if that TOS was stated or not, but that's why I want to address kind of both sides of it. So she said alive, I can only imagine chat action. Oh, it was crazy. I remember we went back to Discord and everybody was like, kept clipping that part. I'm like, okay, guys, all right, look, that's enough. And then Red picked it up, and I was like, oh, dude, yeah, GG's. Yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from, Farrah. I think it's more like, if the artist doesn't stand for that, it can reflect on them, right? As much as you and I might agree that it's to be separated, I do think that sadly, not everybody does that, right? Yeah, Kazana, I don't even know if you knew about this interview, dude. I mean, this was a while ago, but yeah, at that point I was like, nah, I'm good, Powder. GG's, like, yeah, exactly. For me, it was GG's. Thanks, Venom. I appreciate the fucking lap dance. Never seen that, yeah. I feel like a lot of people haven't. I don't know why, but like, even though this has like a ton of views, like, I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like everybody forgets that, like, for some reason. So, but I did feel it was very important to know of the overall story and narrative of Powder. So there you go, chat. There you go. Pretty crazy. However, chat, you know what else is crazy? Cha-Cha Chilla coming back. That's right, guys. Cha-Cha Chilla is back, baby. What's up, Gray? How are you? Yep, Cha-Cha Chilla has decided to return with more story time for all of us. Again, I don't know what she's on about, but let's go take a look, guys. Here we go.
I don't know what everybody wants from me. If I apologize, I'm making excuses. If I admit I'm mentally ill, I'm lying, because mentally ill people never hurt others in their battle of extreme ills, they only self-harm, and keep it all bottled inside.
What?
Well, guess what? I have.
Nobody said this. Nobody said that you. What? Nobody said that you're lying about it. Everybody said, please get help. You need help for this. What do you mean nobody said that?
Self-harmed, I have bottled it inside, and it doesn't work. You explode eventually. That's what gets you to this point.
That's why you need to get help, girlie.
When you have an abusive mother that constantly torments and stalks you, when you have a roof over your head that's conditional, when you're cha-cha, PDFs are mentally ill and harm others. I was born at night. I wasn't born last night. Try again.
Look, Cha-Cha, I'm really sorry that you're having like personal issues, right? Your brother with your mothers. Well, that's horrible, but that doesn't excuse your actions.
Little brother is dying, when you barely see the family you
It's
care
sad,
about,
but
when
dude,
you have health issues
get some help.
constantly, when you have mental health issues in addition, when you have no friends, when
that
you
is
have
of
nobody
your
you
own
can
doing,
rely
girly.
on, when you're all alone in this cruel world.
I'm truly sorry, Cha-Cha, I am, but you need to seek help. Sitting here and just going
May
off
God heal
online
you,
about
Cha-Cha.
how it's not your fault,
Log
like,
off and get help.
dude, you own all of this. This is your fault.
You truly lose hope. I never doxed Apollo, nor did revenge porn of her. I was met information about Apollo on Twitter, and I immediately reported the account,
Yeah,
and went to her
that's
manager
not what
too,
we've seen.
telling him about them. I wouldn't have done that if I made the account.
Yeah, that's not what we've seen at all. Oh no, they sent it to me. That's why I had it. Oh yeah, I was. Oh, why do I have this cocaine? I was holding it for a friend. Yeah, okay, bro. Sure thing, dude. Sure thing.
Since I reported them, and I'm sure Trey did as well, I'm sure it's banned. And
Oh,
if it's
how
banned,
convenient.
and I made it, then I'd automatically be banned as well.
That's not
These
true.
are things nobody thinks about.
What?
Nobody asks for evidence, or cares. They just assume I'm.
That's not. And if it's banned, then I made it, then not automatically banned. That's not true. People have tons of alternate accounts if they get banned. That's not even close to true. Oh my god.
Guilty because Apollo has such a massive following. Surely she'd never lie.
Oh my god.
I never doxed anybody. I'm begging anybody to provide any evidence of me doxing anybody. I can name the people I know the real names of in the VTubing community on one hand, and
You just log off of the computer.
none of them
just
are
go
even the
get some
people
help,
who
girl.
are claiming to have been doxed. So I'm not sure why you think I of all people doxed you, when I don't even know your information, but please, don't assume those things.
I really think the best thing you can do, Cha-Cha, is just log off. I mean, like, log off of the internet. Go get some help. Girl, you have a lot of personal problems that I know, and I'm sorry that you're having to deal with them. I really, really am. But you have to take responsibility for the things you've done, and you need to seek help with the problems that you have. You're never going to get better. You're never going to get better. They've already got caught with one alt account. You know what I mean? So, absolutely wild, chat. I'm hoping the best for you, Cha-Cha. I really, really am. But, girl, please just step away from it. Please just step away from it. I mean, this is just... It's too much. It's too much, guys. It's too much. You're trying to do the Cinder and Bunny comeback to it. It didn't work. Nah, she's not even close to that, dude. Not even close. You know what we are close to, though, chap? Some absolutely crazy news about Iron Mouse. So, does everybody remember... You know, it's been a few months. Does everybody remember us watching Kazahana's video where he ended up deep diving into this this Discord of people going after Shy Lily and trying to dox her? Do you guys remember that? Who was here for that stream? Nah, you're good. Have a good one, cutie. Yeah, so Kazahana went deep, like deep Inspector, bro. He was like straight up like Amelia Watson all up in this shit, dude. Like, he pulled out the glass. He was looking with the microscope. Dude, he was up in that Discord. Well, Kazahana has actually went on another adventure here recently to discuss what happened here with Iron Mouse. And it, of course, guys, you guys know Iron Mouse received a ton of hate for the past couple months. Obviously, this kind of came to a head during the Streamer Awards and Rakai. Well, now, chap, he decided to do a deep dive into a different VTuber server about Iron Mouse. So we're going to go take a look at that video. And I got to tell you guys, it's wild. It's wild, chat. It's absolutely wild. So I hope that you, you know, buckle up, get ready here. Let's go.
Okay, so this is a little bit of a different video that I'm going to make today, and this is essentially on the Iron Mouse situation. Now, if you don't know, recently she's been getting attacked quite a bit, especially over, you know, the whole Streamer Wars drama, and this is then amplified.
Dude, I just gotta give, like, Kazahana credit here. Dude, he like, goes in those Discords, like, I mean, like, kudos to you, dude, because I could never do that shit. Like, you absolutely, like, deserve some claps, dude. Like, getting up in here is wild.
By a lot of the TikTok trending,
But
to
hey,
the
I
point
mean,
where
like,
they were attacking
this
Spotify,
is really
which
good
you guys probably have
news,
seen.
right? Like,
And yeah, this was a big,
he
big
gets up
deal
in there.
because essentially these people were putting up songs and they were full of a ton of pretty horrible material, a lot of racist kind of stuff, right? And they were essentially copyright striking the original song, which was Cry For Me, and taking it down. So the only version up would be the offensive version, which obviously was horrible to see. Now, it seems like this has been pretty...
And we talked about all this, right? Of course, the people uploading all these songs, trying to make these fake versions, with slurs, again, to, you know, put a bad name on her account, give her bad rep,
okay
etc.
so far. But I did a little bit of digging into exactly who these people are and who is actually targeting them, because they did the courtesy of actually spreading a Discord server where essentially they were talking about, you know, everything to do with Iron Mouse and a lot of other stuff, which I found pretty interesting.
So again, chat, the people that have been doing this were stupid enough to make a Discord, and Kazana found it and he's like, well, let me just slide on in there.
I found it pretty interesting how they wanted to publicly show this, especially because they put it on the actual cover of the song that they released whenever they did, you know, put it on Spotify. I found it pretty interesting with the things that they were saying in there, that they were so publicly happy to kind of have people see this and publicly happy to have people join their server and yeah, essentially see the stuff that they were saying, because it is pretty disgusting from what I have found, right? And obviously, as you guys can see, these are some of these screenshots
just
that we
gonna
have
slide
essentially
in,
found.
you
Well,
know,
I say we have essentially found. I found
slide.
on the server, and yeah, you can see here. Obviously, they're talking about uploading songs. Now, some of these screenshots are going to be talking about the Iron Mouse case and you know, them targeting her Spotify, and then there's going to be ones obviously that I've just found in the server, either talking about Iron Mouse in some pretty horrible ways, or also just talking about other stuff in pretty horrible ways as well. Now, obviously, as you guys can see here, this is one of the screenshots from the main person flagged, who was the person who...
Can't believe she's a racist. What? What the fuck are you talking
essentially
about?
Uploading
these messages
Spotify,
are already fucked, dude.
And they're talking about the fact that they've already uploaded new songs and that they're waiting for distro to approve it. So essentially what that means is there could potentially be another case of more Iron Mouse kind of attacks, right?
This makes absolutely no sense.
Actually uploading more music and more stuff, and even trying to take down her current songs once again. So it seems like, yeah, as I said,
well,
they're
there's no
uploading new
proof of
songs.
that,
It's
dude.
just waiting to be approved. So maybe, you know, later on, maybe
I've
tomorrow,
already
maybe
uploaded
the day
new
after,
songs, so
we could see
again, this person is uploading these songs, and trying to get the distro to approve it.
more songs, more offensive songs, up on Iron Mouse's
So
Spotify,
they're
which is
actively
absolutely
doing this,
horrible to
chat. You know
see.
what I mean?
Obviously, people saying, guys, I don't think Iron Mouse fans like her music. Can't believe she's so racist now. If you don't like black or Asian people, just say it. Which, again, I think is crazy. And obviously, I'm assuming they're referring to the Streamer Wars thing, where they're referring to Rakai and Ray. And again, as I said, in all my videos, they are allowed to feel uncomfortable with a interaction. It's not about race. It's not about anything to do with that. It's the fact that they have harassed her before. It's the fact that they've had previous interactions. And I think it is pretty crazy that some people are labeling her as this whenever it comes to this. And it's going to be pretty funny because a lot of these people do have a problem with this, and they keep on bringing up the fact that, oh, you know, she's a racist or whatever. But we're going to get onto some of the messages that they've been sending in the server too, which I think is a little bit hypocritical, right?
You didn't hear about the prior interactions, Dragon?
Talking about the
I'll have to pull those up for you sometime.
saying, I've used it too hard. It doesn't anymore after this. And obviously they're talking about their own uploads and stuff to Spotify, including pictures of like Charlie Kirk as the actual album cover, which I think is horrible.
Glad that,
and yeah, obviously they're trying to, I guess, associate it with Iron Mouse.
I'm glad that
this one doesn't have Iron Mouse's
Spotify's
name
at least
on
trying
it,
to do
so,
something.
Yeah, that is something to kind of take into account there. Now, obviously, we move on to another one, which is, I'm pretty sure this is from the announcements or whatever. They essentially talk about the fact that they are finally unbanned, so I'm unable to post. My account. They finally
at least
banned my
somebody
account,
is taking
so I'm
action,
unable
right?
to post more releases for now. Maybe in the future I'll do something more, but I don't care about this. But now I don't care about this. So obviously, yeah, they seem a little bit less, I guess, you know, interested in it. And as I said, this was something that's going to happen. You know, they're going to get bored. They're going to get uninterested.
This is just wild, dude. Like, and I agree with Kazana. Like, they're going to get bored at some point, but like, what the actual
and they're
fuck?
not going to want to do it anymore. and it is just a matter of time. And as you can see, they're already starting to get bored, and that was on the 6th of January. We're like into the late months now. Now, obviously, this screenshot from whenever they said they've already uploaded new songs was from the 27th, so they have found some kind of motivation to continue going on. But you can tell that it's already kind of, I guess, starting to, you know, fall apart, right? Now, this is where obviously it starts to get a little bit more disgusting, and you can see I've carefully put some red dots onto some of these images and censorship. There's going to be a little bit of censorship, obviously for YouTube reasons.
Yeah,
but
no,
yeah,
definitely
obviously
makes sense.
you can see right here, they have just the N word, hard R. So again, I think it's pretty crazy. They did put a 6 there because obviously there's no two, you know, you can't put 2G emojis onto a kind of emoji thing. So again, obviously the claims of people saying that Iron Mouse is racist while also you know, doing stuff like this, I thought it was pretty crazy, right? And obviously they did it again on the post down here too, which again, that's just crazy. It's disgusting and it's horrible to see, right? And we can keep on going as well to more screenshots.
I mean, this is absolutely just like bottom of the barrel behavior, dude.
This is a screenshot of the infringement claim. Obviously, they say, thank you for getting in touch. The reported content has been removed while under investigation. Please allow up to 48 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I get at least Spotify is actually doing something about this. But
URLs, and obviously they got
I mean,
URL
dude,
for
I
the
agree.
song.
It is a very
And,
warped
this is
mindset.
one of the screenshots of the...
Like, dude, go... You could be doing something productive with your life. Like, what the fuck is this,
kind
dude?
of responses that they've had from Spotify. Now, again, I don't know whether this is
But
them taking
people
down
just
Iron Mouse's song
have
or
nothing
their own
better to
songs
do
being taken down.
sometimes
But again,
than to
I'm
spread
pretty
hate
sure
like this.
it is them trying to take down
And
Iron
it's really
Mouse's songs
sad.
because they're saying thank you for getting in touch. The reported content has been removed. So again, that is obviously the proof of them, you know, actively doing this kind of stuff. It isn't just them saying that they're doing it. It is 100% them that is kind of doing it, right? And then we can move on to other things as well. For example...
Yeah, I mean, you deleted the screenshots. Everything is like, oh, did you do this? Like, no, you definitely
like
did it.
this one. They're saying,
Oh,
Iron
no,
Mouse
this is
needs
awful.
to stand up. I hate her
This
for
is
being
awful. And I'm sure all these people were reported, you know, and of course action was taken against them as much as possible.
in a
But
wheelchair. Like, that's the kind of stuff that they are saying. This is how horrible these people are. These are the people that some people are supporting, right?
you can obviously
you
see
have
what they
these
spelled
kind of
out
people
as
which
well,
are very,
chat.
very,
I
you know,
mean,
they're very
absolutely
fully into it.
disgusting.
They're fully, like, kind of, I guess, like, lost in the source whenever it comes to hating Iron Mouse in whatever way they possibly can. Then you have the kind of, like, soft haters who obviously just kind of comment on Twitter every now and again, or TikTok. And obviously...
Nah, this is like next level. Like, the actual uploaders of this stuff
These
is
are the
wild.
kinds of people who obviously think it's okay to go after her, and then they also support this kind of behavior, you know?
Yeah,
If
isn't
you're
she
supporting
walking
going after Iron
around
Mouse,
like...
these are the kind of people
Didn't
who are
she just
supporting
start doing
and
that?
saying that, you know, obviously they're saying she needs to stand up and that they hate her for being in a wheelchair, which is crazy, right? And also,
Yeah,
on top
almost
of that,
30 people
they
or
then
so.
put in an emoji thing with a tick, and then they put the R word. So someone has put the R word there, and you guys probably guess what it is, the crime, which I think is absolutely crazy.
Dude, I don't
Obviously,
care
had
who
to,
they are. This
censor
is
that one too.
literally
So again, I
deplorable
think it is
behavior.
crazy, and you know, me personally, I would take that as almost like a threat, in a
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
whenever
absolutely.
they say this kind of stuff, and I think it is absolutely.
Yeah, I know she said she
horrible
was
that these
walking around
people
not too
are
long
going
ago.
around and saying this sort of stuff to Iron Mouse, or not to Iron Mouse, but about Iron Mouse.
Again, Iron Mouse is like one of the nicest, purest individuals. Why would you choose her of all people to go after?
And we can keep on going. You know, a lot of people saying this is just a random message. This isn't really to do with Iron Mouse, but this is just some stuff that I've noticed in the server. For example, you know, they were talking about, oh my god, I can't believe Iron Mouse is racist and stuff. And then someone says, I want to do something evil today. They say, so scary. And then they say they want to blank a black person, which I think is pretty crazy. Also, not that they want to, sorry. They're saying for someone to do that, which I think, yeah, that's...
I mean, dude, I gotta stop the video here. Do I need to show you more of these horrible
insane.
people?
And obviously, he kind of shows you where their mind is at. These are the real people that are the problem. Iron Mouse is not an issue. Iron Mouse is not this, you know, racist person that people are saying she is. These are the real people that are doing this. These are the real people that you should be concerned about.
It's wild to me to think that there's actually people behind these Discord accounts typing this shit, dude.
Whenever it comes to this kind of behavior, right? I mean, you continue going on. For example, like this one. Now, again, I didn't know if YouTube really allowed this. Essentially, that big red box is a foot. I don't know if like this is a YouTube bad no thing, so I just kind of censored it anyway, just in case.
I mean, who knows?
Obviously,
I'll be honest. I think feet are fine,
nothing,
but
you know, crazy. Just wanted to kind of, you know, put that out there. And they said, what if instead of Iron Mouse, her name was Iron Feet, and instead of
Shall we deploy the Iron Mouse army?
she would
They are always on standby.
with her souls, which I think is crazy.
I'm pretty sure all
And,
these people have been reported
obviously,
already.
I
So
think it's absolutely disgusting, right? It's disgusting. The amount of kind of things and comments that they've been making about Iron Mouse in this server has been horrible to see.
I just
And
cannot believe
honestly,
people
you know,
actually
it goes beyond what a lot of the people have been commenting in public,
think
right?
this or
And
even
as I said, I always knew
comment this
whenever
kind of
joining,
shit.
you know, this server and whatever and looking
I mean, dude, I knew the internet was fucked up, but like, I feel like if you are a person that does so much good in the world, you do not deserve any type of retort or anything like this. I mean, what the fuck is this, dude?
Exactly what they were saying, that this was going to be way worse, because obviously people
no,
don't
people
really
take
want
it
to say
way
this stuff in
too
public,
far.
right? They don't want to say this stuff on a Twitter feed, in a comments or whatever, because again, obviously they can be called out for it. But whenever they're in a little safe haven Discord like this or whatever, where they can freely say pretty much whatever they want, because it's clear that they don't have any kind of,
That's horrible,
I guess,
Snub.
not censorship, but like restraint or filter.
I mean, trust me, I see like the unhinged like memes and shit. Don't get me wrong, Sapphire, but I mean, this is not a meme,
you know, they
you know,
feel
this
comfortable
is
enough
beyond.
to say this kind of stuff, which I think is absolutely disgusting, and it's horrible, again, to see. Again, we can keep.
Yeah,
it
I don't
going.
know,
People
Theo. I think it was
you know, this
AI
guy,
probably.
Which is literally, he's got the Jeffrey Epstein profile, saying "Greetings, gang," and they say, "By the way, love the song. We should lobotomize Iron Mouse. Who's with me?" Which again, it's just crazy. It's crazy that these people exist. It's crazy that there is this amount of hatred to say this kind of stuff about another person. But again, this is just the reality of these haters, the reality of how far these people will go, the reality of these fantasies that they keep on picking up and essentially pushing on other people. And I think it is just horrible. And finally,
No, I mean, I don't think there's anybody here that's like, yo, this is cool. Like, we all know this is horrible.
And this one as well, if we're going into the whole racism, whatever thing, you know, they're saying.
I mean, just be
Iron
fair. I've
Mouse
seen people
over,
call me all kinds of
I
shit,
probably
right?
can't say that either, but you guys can see what that's.
Yeah, I've seen people call me
I think
some
it is
really
absolutely
horrible things
horrible
before,
to
but
see that this is the kind of stuff and rhetoric
I mean,
that
this
is
is just
being,
beyond,
kind of
right?
thrown around on this Discord server, which has been promoted onto Iron Mouse's Spotify, and essentially has become a server kind of, you know, dedicated to hating on Iron Mouse, right?
Yeah,
Now, obviously,
I mean, it is.
there was a couple of channels and stuff where they were, you know, talking about other things outside of Iron Mouse and whatever they wanted, but the primary conversation, and especially in the announcements and things that they were making, was of course, yeah, like things to do with Iron Mouse and attacking her songs, saying, should I make a song? Should I make a cover? Should I, you know, upload stuff on DistroKid? And obviously, this is the kind of method that they're using, which we kind of already knew without this information.
You're right,
they have been
Stambo.
using
I mean, like,
DistroKid to upload it. So hopefully,
they just want
you
to
know, if
torture
anybody,
somebody else.
Iron
That's
Mouse's
all they
team or
want to
whatever
do.
is watching this video, then if you haven't gone to DistroKid already, you should probably kind of, you know, inform them whatever on what is going on, because that should be the real thing that would stop them, right? I think in terms of like Spotify and going to Spotify, sure, they can take down a song and whatever, but I think they can't really prevent it from happening.
Always
What
expect
a
the
sad way to
unexpected,
live
and
your
if you
life,
think
too.
they can't sink deeper
And what
than
a
that,
sad
even the
way to
Mariana
live.
Trench is not deep enough for them. Even the deepest
Yeah.
part of Earth would not come even close to the deeps this people can sink to.
Like, to dedicate your time in that you have to trying to fuck up somebody else's is just beyond me.
So I think that, you know, maybe going to DistroKid directly might be the better kind of option as well. And again, if you know you want any more information about this kind of stuff, then obviously, yeah, DM me or whatever. But again, I think it is absolutely crazy that these kind of people exist, and that these kind of people are hating this hard, where they would say this kind of disgusting stuff about a VTuber who essentially hasn't done anything to them, right?
No.
I think it's absolutely insane. And yeah, it's kind of horrible to see, especially with the past couple of days of research that I've done. Now, of course, as of making this video, I'm pretty
Actually,
sure the
Daniel,
server
that's
is
perfect.
up. I think I checked like yesterday or the day before yesterday, with, you know, some of the other screenshots that I saw. But apart from that, that seems to be, you know, at least what I found. There might be even more stuff on there now. I haven't checked. But again, it is pretty crazy. And
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
hope
these
that they
people are just
reported.
absolutely disgusting. And as I
Discord
said,
takes
if you are one
action,
of the
like-
people that is going after Iron Mouse at the moment,
They'll just
these
make
are the kind of
also-
people you are supporting, and I think it is absolutely
You know what I mean, chat, like-
disgusting if you are doing so. But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all there is for the situation. I think it was a pretty crazy thing overall. But yeah, as I said, if you know anybody kind of in Iron Mouse's team, whatever, needs more information,
And that's
then
wild to me, dude.
just
That's
message me
wild.
because again, of course, I've got all of this. And yeah, I mean, that is essentially all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and
Disgusting,
subscribe.
dude.
Also, go to Game Subs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off.
Yeah,
Again,
absolutely
we've got a ton of really cool
disgusting.
stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys.
I
in the
just
next
I
one.
just feel
That's
bad
it.
for her safety, you know what I mean? Like, also like, huge W to Kasana for actually like taking the time to go into this Discord server. I mean, you know what I mean, chat? That's wild as fuck. That's actually wild as fuck that he took the time to do that. So kudos to you, dude. Oh, you got a powder video. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad I showed you this. I don't know if that'll change anything for you, but yeah, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts about that. So, yeah, thanks for going into the trenches for us because this is just absolutely deplorable. Changes a bit, yeah. Yeah, again, I needed to mention this today because I'm just like, I feel like nobody remembers this happened. And by the way, the easiest way to get it is from Rev's video. This one right here. So, yeah, if you want to pull it for any reason, but yeah, I mean, again, I don't know. She's got a history, right? So, and I think a lot of people have been, right, you know, I got you. Yeah, I mean, it's good to know. That's why I check with Kono. He's my go-to lawyer when I just don't know about shit like this. So, absolutely crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. One other news, chat. We got to talk about a AI impersonator for HoloLive. Now, guys, if you're a HoloLive fan, you're probably familiar with Achan. Achan, of course, used to be one of the main announcers for the HoloLive news channel. You know, Achan was a very, very big deal, chat, for a very, very long time. I remember covering her retirement back in 2024. It was really sad. She was a really, really big deal. She almost was like, she almost had like her unofficial own like generation, right? She was just, she was absolutely incredible. Well, on top of that, guys, she also had a co-host who has graduated recently here named Harusaki. Harusaki was very well known as the co-host as well alongside Achan. So you should know a lot about HoloLive history like I do. This is two very big streamers that had a lot to do with HoloLive news. Well, you know, as you guys know, I told you that Haru did graduate. Her very last statement was on September 30th, 2025. You know, saying like goodbye, that's all. You know, see you around. So now she was very clear that she would not be around anymore. So she would not be around anymore, chat. There would be no new life. Naruka would not be around anymore, right? So 100% right. Well, chat, if you don't know this, even though she is not around, Achan actually might somehow be related to this totally unrelated VTuber named Yubari Ray. Again, totally unrelated, chat. You know, I don't know why you would ever think that they're related at all, but you know, maybe they just have some similarities, totally unrelated. Well, chat, unfortunately, Yubari actually recently spoke about an issue going on where somebody was impersonating the former talent Arasaki. So let's go take a look at what she had to say. She was talking about Arasaki is actually becoming NEET. If you don't know what a NEET is, right? It's you know, not an education, employment, or trading. So it's like young adults who are unemployed, not in school, etc. Right? So they're kind of talking about that, but again, allegedly somebody is actually using AI impersonation to fake being that person. So anyway, let's take a look.
で、あと2位と4ヶ月目の後輩の話もしたいと思います。前職で私ちょっと特殊な仕事をしていて、まあ、裏方的な感じのスタッフ。
Sorry, I had to give you the backstory because it's really important, right? Because Achan and of course Haru working together was very important. So obviously in Achan's totally unrelated, you know, maybe new life, as of course, Yubari right here we're gonna hear about, of course, Haru's current life, like what she's doing outside of VTubing.
としていろいろ仕事をしていたんですが、なんていうかこう配信とかでちょっと喋るような機会がある。例えばこういうプロジェクトが始まりますよとか、直属の後輩っていうのが一人、直属っていうか後輩っていうか、部署が同じだったわけじゃないんですけど、唯一同じような働き方をしていた、私の気持ちが一番わかる後輩が一人いたんですね。でその後輩が昨年ちょっと退職して、私の後ねもう唯一
So again, she took over everything for a bit and then she retired back in September, which everybody was really sad about. You know, these are beloved members of Hololive that have been around, you know, since like Sora era, right? Achan had been around for a very, very long time. So even though she wasn't like an official like idol for Hololive, she was pretty much an unofficial member of Hololive. Like people loved her.
引き継いでくれてたっていう感じで本当に感謝しかないんですけど、でその後輩しかいろいろちょっと引き継ぎとかはしたものの、ちょっと大丈夫かなっていう感じで見守っていて、それをねしっかり全うしてくれて、
Yeah, a lot of people were like, oh my god, they were doing posting about it. I remember that.
でそれで彼女がどうしてるかなと思ったんですよ。なんかちょくちょく連絡は取ってたんですが、あえて辞めた直後とかは連絡は取らないようにはしてたんですね。なんていうかこう連絡してしまうとさ、ほら一応やっぱ先輩からの仕事の先輩からの連絡ってなんかプレッシャーになるかなみたいなところもあって、ちょっと気を使って、で多分後輩も後輩で、
Yeah, exactly. She's still a VTuber, so so she's saying she's being very considerate and set the work culture respect not to disturb or annoy sometime with more
忙
stress.
しいんだろうなみたいな。なんか私がこういう活動を始めたっていうのを知ってくれていて、多分忙しいんだ。
So obviously, she knew that. He's saying that Haru knew that Achan started a new life as a
なっていうの
VTuber.
を気にしてくれたのか、でそれで新年になって明けおめみたいな感じで明けましておめでとうって連絡したんですよ。ちょっと久々に。でそしたらね、めちゃめちゃ元気にニート満喫してましたね。
Yeah, so she's saying, oh, I had a great time as being like, you know, a NEET, right? Alara, how difficult would you say it is to be a news reporter in the community? It's fucking horrible. Dapper, I just really love talking and having conversations. So it's for me, right? But I would, why do we have the wheel? I would not advise news tubing or news reporting to literally any fucking sane person in the entire world. Unless you just like to get criticism constantly over nothing. I cannot point you away from being a news tuber or anything like that enough. Like, it is not for everybody, dude. You really gotta have a passion for talking about stuff, being comfortable with conversations and criticisms. But there's a really bad stigma. People will be like, oh, you're a news tuber, so you fucking suck. Like, dude, I've been blocked by so many people on Twitter just because I cover news, right? It's really sad. I mean, I try to carry myself in a positive and nuanced manner, and I don't know, maybe some people just can't deal with that. Some people don't want to engage with me, and that's fine. They're totally allowed for that, but sadly, it's not an easy thing to do. It's really, really not.
でなんか嬉しかったんですよね。なんというか辞める前とかだと、やっぱ会社でいろいろね大変だ。
So again, around this time that Richan left Hololive, Hololive faced a sort of mouse termination going on at the same time. Aqua Nami's graduation announcement. You know, the Hololive self-management a few months in advance where they said leave. Plus stock price plummeted for cover and Flow Glow was getting ready to debut. So there was a lot going on at that time, right?
だったりとか仕事が大変だったりするとこうなんかやっぱ文面からちょっとテンションが伝わってきたりとか、相談とかで電話
Exactly. Yeah, you really become a
があった
target.
んですけど。
Like, even if you just talk about it in good faith, people are like, you're a news tuber, fuck you. You know, we're like, I mean, I get hateful comments all the time.
ちょっと大変なんだろうなみたいなことは、なんか久しぶりにどうかなと思って明けおめって連絡したら、めっちゃ連絡くれて嬉しいですみたいな感じで、
That's cute to think of talking though, you
い
know?
やなんか今ニート4ヶ月目なんですけど、
That's really, really
今後
cute.
どうしようかなと思ってた感じでしたみたいな感じで、
Especially since
全
they
然
were so
もう焦
close
らなくても
before.
いいと思うよみたいな。 まあ多分半年ぐらいは多分満喫できると思うんですよ。多分4ヶ月目に入ったので、そろそろどうしようかなみたいな感じで、まだ彼女は
Yeah, so there's
実際
time
に
about
途
like
中ら
what
し
she
いで
do in the
す。
future,
でもまだね、
etc.
彼女はなん
right?
か楽しそうにはしていましたけどね。で、なんというか、
That's good.
なんというか、これは悲しいことではあるんですけど、その後輩ではないんですけど、後輩に
Yeah, so here we go, chat. So here's the problem. This person appears called what is this? Uruma? Uruma? Rini, a B singer, right? This person pops up. Well, they were impersonating Haru, that is right. They were impersonating her, chat. The person behind this account is the online impersonator and generated fake AI voices using Nodoka, which is her name, right? Nodoka is her, what a lot of people like to call her, right? So, of course, they were using sound files of Haru, aka Nodoka, to create a fake YouTube channel. They also made multiple social medias alluding to a debut as a B singer. I have also personally fallen victim to this scam. The creator of the channel, Punkney, I have also personally fallen this scam. And I posted about this on my community page. I want to get apologize about the confusion this may have caused. This person behind the account is still actively posting to this day, chat. So again, they're impersonating them using all of these, fake sound files,
ちょ
etc.
っとなりすますような、まあ彼女の気持ちは代弁できないのでできませんが、なんというか。
And dude, I'm gonna tell you, she does not play, dude. Yuba does not fucking play. Listen to this.
VTuber 業界のリスペクトがないようなそういうのはとか、そういうことも気にしなきゃいけない時代になったんだなとは思いましたね。やっぱその誰か
And now we've entered an age where this kind of stuff is a concern, right?
功績というか誰かのふんどしを使っていや自分に注目を集めようなんて基本的には思わないはず。なんていうか溢れ出るほど匂わせることって基本ないと思うんですよね。
Hey, what's up, bro? How are you? Thank you for the raid,
誰も
kitty.
ライブのね、天音かなたさんが卒業されるときに
Yep.
自分は
I'm gonna say, Amani literally said that she would graduate and not go buy anything
名
else.
義で今後ね活動する
So that this should be already a good
ことはありま
indication.
せんっていう風に、そういうことも考えなきゃいけない時代になったのかなとは思いましたね。で後輩には私はあれは絶対その後輩ちゃんじゃないと思ったよって彼女はでもどうするかっていうのはまだ全然ね多分全然今
Yeah, I love her
って感じだったので
It's very kind of like plain, but it's very cute. So anyway, chat, of course, we have this person impersonating them using their soundboard, AI, etc., right? So, and it's really disrespectful, yeah. I mean, not even because... I mean, it is disrespectful because this person does not want to be reincarnated, right? They said they wanted to step away, but also, like, the fact that you're doing this to somebody and trying to pull attention in a crowd and to pull... your own, like, stuff away from their own image is crazy, dude. So, and she's right, though. We do have to be concerned about this more and more because, every single day, chat, this becomes more of a problem because AI, it can be used to deepfake for so many reasons now. It's really, really sad. So, guys, be careful out there. Obviously, you don't want to happen to Achan, happen to anybody here, or Haru, or anybody, right? But it's so sad, again, that it's almost like they can't sleep in peace, right? These are graduated people, and people are using their likeness to obviously try to garner some attention for themselves, which is pretty gross. You know what I mean, chat? Absolutely horrible stuff. So I hope this is reported. Again, don't fuck around with HoloLive. They will find out. They will come after you. So you really don't want to fuck around with them. Yeah, very, very bad. So, we did really get to go through all of our stuff like I planned on. But I did want to cover some little things here and there before we wrap up for today. So first up, chat, I did want to let you know that Massage is actually having an issue with their YouTube. Their YouTube channel has been hijacked. Now, guys, I want you to take a look at this. If you look at the videos, this person is uploading like these, like, what the fuck is this? Genshin cheap? This is like AI just coded videos. You see what I mean, right? But they straight up hacked her channel. They took it back away from her and it started uploading this random stuff. So, guys, if you wouldn't mind helping me out for just a moment, I would really, really appreciate it. If you could just go check this out, just at Team YouTube. On a personal note, I would really appreciate it, guys, because obviously she would like her channel back, she would like to upload, but you can't really do that right now, chat, so that is not the right noise. Let me give you this one.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Whoever went in to actually, like, take your channel, fucking deplorable, man. That's horrible. So please help her. If you got a moment, help her get her account back, okay, chat? Is there anything else that I need to make sure that I cover? Anything that's time sensitive? I don't think so. I do want to give you the debuts coming up, so that way you guys can write these down. So anyway, chat, let's go take a look here at Indy. This is Indy H. You know, I don't know if you guys know this certain Star Dragon that I used to play for Cloud9. Totally unrelated to this person, though, chat. I mean, totally not their, like, side VTuber account that they've talked about multiple times or anything like that. I mean, totally unrelated to this, Star Dragon. You know what I mean, chat? One of my favorite places to visit is, Vienna, chat. You ever visited Vienna? Yeah, really cool place to visit. You should definitely check out Vienna! Of course, totally unrelated to, this alternate VTuber person, yeah. Yeah, totally unrelated, chat. You should go there sometime. It's really, really cool. Yeah, really nice place. In other news as well, guys, Stanson is debuting the brand new model, the Rocker model, coming up February 10th at 8 p.m. EST. Let's take a look. Yeah, wonderful city, wonderful city. I love that everybody's doing, like, these rock star metal models. This makes me so happy. Very nice, chat. So get excited for this. Coming up very, very soon. Of course, also, guys, SK, yes, the SK, is actually going to be changing their clothes here soon. Let's take a look here at their trailer, chat.
Are vampires real? Tonight's news, dozens of reports of bats flying around downtown, with several eyewitnesses saying they've seen those bats turn into
Look,
a woman.
she's talked about
A
it on
very
her stream.
rude woman. One citizen even claimed she was bitten by this rude woman. Let's check it out.
Good evening, denizens of New York City. I'm Man on the Street Sajam here, reporting live with...
I love all the
What was
people
your
in
name
this
again?
trailer.
Oh, SK.
Right, sure. Can you tell the fine folks at home a little bit more about how you were bitten?
Yes, yesterday around, let's say midnight, when I stepped out of the lobby, I saw this really gorgeous woman. I told her, I love your outfit. And she responded with, thank you. I don't like yours at all. I'm too awkward to say anything, so I just turned around and kept walking. And then she bites me in the neck. Which, okay, again, strange, but I can't really complain because it was kind of hot. Either way, if she just...
I like the picture of him keeps changing.
Asked me, I'm sure I probably would have... I probably would have said yes. Does that make me desperate? Oh, God, what's happening to me?
Well, there you go, chat. It's going on today at 12 p.m. PST. You can go check out SK's new vampire-inspired model, Spoopy. Of course, in other news, guys, I also got to check in here with Gold Bullet. Gold Bullet is also doing their new, this is from Mahalo Stars, by the way, coming up on February 10th, their new outfit reveal. Very, very exciting. And of course, also, guys, we have Miss Shadow Lovely coming in as well for their Valentine model, coming actually today. So actually this already happened 2 hours ago, so make sure that you go check them out. Actually, in fact, maybe we should raid them. What do you think, chat? Let's see if they're live. Yeah, maybe we can raid them. What do you think, chat? Damn it. They're already done. Fuck. We'll go support them, guys. Very, very cool outfit. I'm sure it's beautiful. So, damn it. Next time. Very cool, though. So, go give them some love, chat. Yeah, Valentine's Day is coming up very soon. So, wow. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. However, I do get some good news. Luminari is actually hosting an event here very, very soon. This is actually their first charity event of the new year. They're partnering with B&U and Mythos So 8 trainers, 1 champion. The Wild Zone Scrambles. So Pokemon ZA charity event. On February 7th, this looks really cool. So get pumped for that, chat. I like Pokemon events. I think they're always pretty fun. And of course, Hilo
Daniel
is also...
_IB01 says, update from Miss Shadow Lovely in her Discord server. Her grandma's house was broken into, and she is missing.
Wait, what? That's not real, right?
Daniel _IB01
That's not real,
bringing
right?
some
You're
serious
fucking
news
with me.
about Miss Shadow Lovely's situation.
Yeah, that's
Let's
not
show
real,
support
right?
and
Like,
empathy during tough times. Keep the vibes caring and understanding.
wait, that's real?
Thoughts go out to her. Also, Booba.
Oh my god, really? Holy shit. Oh my god, I hope she's okay. What the fuck? I thought you were like joking or something, like haha, like funny reason. Holy fuck, dude. Yes, so the grandma's missing, yeah. Oh my god, I hope she's okay. No, that's real, yeah. Apparently, Miss Shadow, in her Discord server said her grandma's house was broken into and her grandma's missing. Wow, holy fuck, dude. Yeah, can you give me a screenshot really quick? I'll keep talking until you send it, but Jesus Christ, dude, that's horrible. Be careful, guys, be careful. Of course, coming up here for Hilo. Hilo is also doing a special event to design her chat mascot. You can actually win $150, so if you want to help, creating your chat mascot, go for it, guys. It's a great way to, earn some money. So, very, very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, send that over to me if you don't mind, before we log off today. Yeah, holy shit, dude, that's horrible. Oh my god. Yeah, that's really horrible. Please be careful, guys. Please be careful out there. I guess the only thing that I'll mention to you guys as we wait for that screenshot is, some stuff going on here with the Algorithm Project. Algorithm Project, of course, is a Thailand-based VTuber project. Well, it does look like 2 of their talents are going to be graduating, guys. That is actually going to be Astaroth here, so the Dragon Girl's female rapper. They're going to be graduating, and of course, we'll still be receiving gifts and selling merchandise, and of course, a lot of as well is going to be leaving from the company. So very, very sad to see. Wishing them all the best. And of course, guys, I know this was a big hit for a lot of people, but Mellow, Mutinous is graduating, guys. Going on to say, everybody, I'm so sorry to be the bearer of bad news. And I know this is coming out of nowhere, but I'll be ceasing my VTuber activities as of this evening. For you guys in the Discord, streaming is too much for me, but I hop in event space at 8 to give a proper goodbye. You guys have always been lovely to me, and I wish to give you the best farewell I can. I'll be happy to discuss the future of the Discord and more details as to why I'm doing this as well. TLDR is I'm really mentally unwell. I got a new job that requires significantly more time for me, and I need to prioritize myself and my family, which totally makes sense. I mean, I really hope the best for you. That is, I know it's sudden, but you gotta do what's best for you, right? And finally, guys, in case you forgot about it, Amori did graduate from Face Connect. That actually happened yesterday. So, go say your final goodbyes to her. I know that she's leaving some of her stuff up for a little bit, but yeah, she unfortunately is done, which is really sad. I actually was there. Yeah, I liked her a lot too. So I really just like Face in general. All right, here we go, guys. Yeah, here are the screenshots that Daniel sent. Heroes already been set on reveal because I just waited for a few minutes. Yeah, all seriousness, hopefully it's something bad. Grandma's house broken into, grandma's missing. Oh my god. Dude, I hope everything's okay. Holy fuck. I'll definitely let you know when it gets rescheduled so we can support her, but everybody has been solved. A lot of unfortunate events happening at once. I painted a grim picture of a TLDR. She was at church, and her cats were open all the cabinets trying to get their treats, which shattered and set off the security alarm. Security can get a hold of her, any emergency contacts, and get a hold of her and her mom. Because at church, so basically everything is fine. These two are just criminals. I'll be home. Then to try to debut again. Holy shit, dude, that's actually a crazy story. Oh my god. Well, I'm glad everything's okay. Yeah, I'm glad everything's okay, but it's actually insane. What a wild story, dude. Well, go give her some love. Give her some support today, chat. Bro, what the fuck? The cats are out, dude. The cats are out. Oh my god, that scared the fuck out of me. Like, I'm like, oh my god, that's like the worst. That's actually the worst, dude. Yeah, the cats are the real problem here. The only story you need to know, guys, is the cats are the real problem. It's always cats too, every time. Well, chat, I want to thank you all so much for being here, for discussing everything in a positive and, of course, mature manner. Thank you for being here, guys. Thanks for talking about pattern. Thank you for talking about rev. And thank you for this. Booyah. What a way to go! Chat, we're gonna go raid Kono, who is very helpful in giving us some great things for the news. So let's give him some love. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much, Booyah Cat. Thank you, YouTube. Have a great day. Bye, everybody, YouTube. Bye, everybody, Twitter. Have a big stick with me till the song ends.